We're back. Hello, Bean Mafia. Hello, Samantha Lee Garcia. Is it?
Hola. Sí.
Hola.
Me llama Samantha.
Me llamo Samantha.
Me llama, right?
Me llamo Samantha.
She says no.
Oh, no.
Oh,
How come she always talks like that? You ever notice it's always like, oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, my. Oh, no.
We need to go over the canyon.
Yeah. She's almost like how, you know the white girls who talk like this?
Yeah, she does have the inflection.
She's like a Mexican girl who talks like this, and everything's a question, you know?
Yo, we got to do the live action Dora movie on here. Michael said it was great.
Also, they need to I'm sick of, people not letting everyone be. They need to make a white Dora the Explorer.
Yo, they really do.
A Karen the Adventurer.
I'd like a Karen the Adventurer. I would like to learn how to speak English better. She could also carry, instead of a backpack, she carries a crossbody bag.
Mm-hmm. I'd like a Latanya's.
What?
Because it's Karen's Adventure, Dora the Explorer. Latanya's Ouch Here show. So the show's called Dora the Explorer.
Yeah.
So I want a Karen the Adventurer, and then the black version would just be Latanya's Out Here.
Oh, Latanya.
But no, Latanya's Out Here.
Latanya's Out Here. Oh, I get it now.
That's a cool show.
I heard Latanya, and I thought you were saying Latin in a weird way.
No, Latanya. That's because you're not black, Sam, and you're racist.
You're right. That's true.
Hey, what was the name? What's the name of the black doctor? She's a kid. She's a kid doctor, but she's black though.
Oh, that's a really good show. I've watched that with the kids I babysit. It's called Doctor
Latanya.
It's not Latanya. Yo, it's cute also because her dad is really
Dr.
involved in her
McStuffins?
life. Doc McStuffins. That's what it's called. Doc McStuffins.
Her last name's McStuffins?
No, because she takes care of stuffed animals. That's why she's called Doc.
Or her practice is called Dr. McStuffins.
Yeah, I think it's like a nickname that her parents must have given her. Her parents are very involved in her life in the show. It's very cute. Especially her dad. They make a point to make her black father very present in the show.
She's a licensed doctor, right? Didn't she graduate from like Howard or something?
Yes, at the ripe age of 4.
Yeah, she graduates from Howard, and she performs on stuffed animals. I only saw the episode where she lost 3 stuffed animals in a row, and she goes through like a drinking bender. Or was that Scrubs? I can't remember which show it was, but it was one of them, and I like it.
Yo, I thought it was House.
Oh, that happens in Scrubs and House, huh?
Yeah,
because that definitely happens in Scrubs.
Scrubs is
Dr.
just,
Cox, I remember the episode.
Yeah, Scrubs is just a funny House.
Isn't House funny?
No, House the character is funny. House the show is serious.
Okay, but House is funny because a couple times I've watched,
he's witty.
He's like, "Hey, aren't I an asshole?" He's like Iron Man or Doctor Strange. Or
he's
something.
very much like that.
Well,
Hugh Laurie.
Yeah, all niggas who are super smart are that way. On like, when they're
cheeky.
heroes.
They're cheeky.
No, they're assholes. They're not cheeky.
Doctor
Strange is a dick, bro.
They are cheeky.
Remember the way he
That's
treats
the word.
Rachel McAdams in the beginning of the movie?
Yo, he's an asshole. Fuck
he's
that
like
guy.
actually a bad guy.
He is a bad guy. He's a douche. And then he just uses her the rest of the time too.
Robert Downey, I will say this about Iron Man. He is never mean to Pepper Potts.
No, they have an agreement.
He never treats Pepper Potts bad. He treats other women bad, but he never treats Pepper Potts bad.
Well, because he respects Pepper. She's like, it's not about gender.
But that's what I don't get about Doctor Strange. Is like he don't even respect his, because Rachel McAdams, that's his girl.
Yeah, and she's a doctor too.
But he don't like have no respect for her.
I don't think he really likes her. Like he doesn't love her. It's just some woman that he's been with.
He don't love nobody, fool. He loves like
he
the
loves
time
himself
and shit.
Yeah, he loves power.
He loves power. Doctor Strange might as well be a bad guy, bro.
He's close.
Out of all the Marvel characters, he's by far the closest. He's by far the closest bad guy because nobody else is even close. Like,
what about Scarlet Witch?
Oh damn, never mind. Because WandaVision, she's the worst.
She is pretty bad. Like,
she's
terrible.
The villain. That's what I like about WandaVision. That's the one thing I did like about WandaVision. WandaVision is she's the villain.
Yeah, it is pretty awesome.
And that's cool. I like that she's the problem. Well, though also in Loki, he's the problem. So that's also, I guess, it's the same kind of thing. Because Loki's the villain in Loki.
Yeah.
And it's a different version of Loki, but it is Loki.
It is, but I also feel like Wanda's villainous is worse than Loki's. Loki's is all just he does something once and it's bad. She's like continuously holding people captive.
Yeah, she was like holding people's brain hostage, fool. She was on some other shit. Like innocent people too, like people who had nothing to do. It was just people who lived in this town, fool, who for 3 months lost their fucking mind. Like were like, yo, I was just on my front yard stuck.
If you haven't seen the show,
It's fucked up.
We're telling
fool.
you a lot of stuff.
It's fucked up because it starts as it's like, oh, it's this fun show where they're going through the different eras of TV, and then there's this whole other dark side to it.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's good. But Loki's the best one so far. But
Dude,
WandaVision's
it's
too.
so good. Yeah, because I thought WandaVision was the best. Although I did enjoy the
Winter Soldier, Captain America was hard. That was great.
That was really good.
If we're gonna rank the three, somebody has to be last place.
I do think what's his face has become my
Least favorite Marvel.
No.
I was talking about new Captain America.
Oh yeah, he sucks. I've never liked him.
Well, first off, who likes Falcon? Who the
What
fuck
a
gives a
loser.
fuck about Falcon?
Yo, you get beat up by Ant-Man when he's just like coming through
It's his
by
first
himself.
movie, and he comes through and at your home court.
On your home court, Falcon.
He beats the shit out of you, and he doesn't even know how to be Ant-Man yet. It ain't like Ant-Man
He's just
2,
learning.
where he knows how to be Ant-Man.
Yeah.
He's learning how to be Ant-Man, and he fucks you up, Falcon. So
Yeah.
already you're a bitch. The only thing I do like about him is his new Captain America uniform goes hard as fuck.
Yeah, that's cool.
Because it's like imagine Captain America's outfit, but with wings.
That's
It's like,
cool.
that's fucking cool. But I don't like that he's black, mainly. His Captain America, not Captain Niggertown. No, I'm just saying Sam's thoughts. She's controlling my mind.
Yeah, I just sent that. to
Actually,
him.
Jeffrey's right behind the camera holding cue cards. So, again, I didn't write any of this. That's Jeffrey Burner. Again, Jeffrey Burner on Instagram. Jeffrey Burner.
I like the white guy that's clearly having sex with black women on the show.
Talking about Winter Soldier.
Yeah, he's great.
No, Winter Soldier's always been awesome.
Yo,
he's been awesome since he was a villain. I liked him in the first movie where he's a bad guy.
Yeah, but he's really good at having the vibe of like, it's like I believe that he was definitely messing around with those Wakanda.
No, he was in
girls.
Wakanda
Like,
getting
he
Wakanda'd.
was.
You know
Getting
what I'm
it
saying?
wet.
He was really diving into showing some vibranium. You know what I mean?
Woo-hoo!
Hello. No, I like him. I do like Scarlet Witch because she's dope. I like how powerful
it's cool
she is.
that she's, like, super powerful.
It's cool that she's powerful as fuck. I don't like when people talk that shit like she's the most powerful Avenger. Like, nigga, Iron Man would give her them hands. So shut the fuck up. You think Captain America... Everybody's like, oh, well, Captain America... It's like, yo, you think Captain America ain't fucking that girl's face up? You out your mind.
It's like you're acting... People act like, oh, well, Iron Man is just a suit. And it's like, yo,
Just
is he
a
not
suit.
also his ginormous brain?
Yeah.
Is that
Facts.
not a superpower?
He's a super... But even like, because people say, it's like, no, fool. Scarlet Witch versus Captain America. Captain America is getting in her ass. Because everybody thinks like, oh, but she's powerful. She can do this. It's like, did you forget that Captain America fights with these niggas? He ain't out there... He ain't out there for no reason.
Also, he's lived for over 100 years. I think he knows a thing or two.
Bro, he can handle himself, fool. Even with magical niggas. Captain America be... Bro, Captain America was giving Thanos hands too, fool. It's like... That's Cap, bro. I don't like when people, just because somebody's like has powers, they're the strongest Avenger. It's like, no, bro, that's not how that shit works.
And it's not just that. Because
That
it's
ain't how
like,
that
if
shit
we're
work.
really talking about the strongest Avenger,
Spider-Man
it's the
giving
Hulk.
everybody hands.
Oh, yeah, it's the Spider-Man. Spider-Man is
giving everybody
actually
hands, fool.
physically the strongest
That's
one.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Spider-Man giving them hands to everybody. But if there was a fight to break out amongst the Avengers, Royal Rumble style, wrestling, Royal Rumble, 32 people in a ring. Only way to lose is you get thrown out the ring. Iron Man is
winning.
getting in that ass.
Because Iron Man is like Batman.
He's
He's got a plan to take down everyone if they go bad.
That nigga took down Thanos. Thanos, fool. Him. He did that. Iron Man did that. Iron Man did that, fool. Everybody else was like helping, kinda. But Iron Man did that shit. That's all I am.
Yeah. How did he find the Mobius strip to go back in time? Iron Man.
Bro, Iron Man did all that shit. Even though it's dope that the dude in Owen Wilson's name in Loki is Mobius.
Is
So it's
Mobius.
like, how is that gonna
We're
connect?
stoked for that.
Can't wait to figure out how that connects.
If you guys aren't into Marvel, why do you even?
Listen to this podcast.
Yeah, just go do that.
Well, I'm sure. I guess you also came to see whatever this movie is. But hey, what the fuck is this movie today? Right? Hey, I'm sure you're reading the title. Whoever this is, and I'm talking to Bean Mafia. I'm sure you're looking at the title and you're going, "I'll listen to this episode because it's Deric." Because I don't know what the fuck this is. And Sam.
Yeah, it's me too.
It's Sam. But I'm saying if you're going to the movie because you have no idea what it is.
Oh, yeah.
You're
It's
looking
all
at
he
this
said.
title. Also, this is a paid-for episode.
Yeah.
What?
Well, all day you've just been going around like you're not gonna believe this. You don't even know this movie, but you're.
Sam, you're not gonna believe. No one. I wish this was live, and all of you were like in the audience, so I can see everybody's face.
Yeah.
When I tell this movie, and people are like, "Who the fuck paid for this?"
Yeah, who did pay for this?
Johnathon Sanders. I'll say his fucking name.
I know Johnathon Sanders.
'Cause
He's
paid-
always supportive.
He's paid for before. I forgot the one he paid for before, but I liked it. The last one you paid for, Jonathan, was a great one. This one, you lost your fucking mind. You must have got some money. Because, yo, this nigga paid. First off, if you're wondering, like, yo, I paid for my episode months ago. He hasn't seen it. That's because niggas like Johnathon Sanders come through and pay obscene amounts of money so his episode goes first. Okay? Now, I'm a capitalist. I don't give a fuck about order. I don't give a fuck. I have no loyalty at all. I have zero loyalty. Bro. There's so many movies that I want to do that people have paid for because they're actually movies that I love. Unlike Today, but I will do movies like Today all day because he paid more than the rest of you.
He did grease the wheels.
He greased the wheels. That's why his movies are happening right now. Yo, the movie that was supposed to be happening, the movie that you guys see next week, that's the movie I wanted to do. That's one of the greatest movies of all time. I was so excited. But then this nigga came through with the bag, and said, hey, Deric, why, instead of doing that movie you wanted to do, why don't you do a movie that should have never been made? How about that? But I'm going to do it, Johnathon Sanders, because again, I love the green. I'm Rick Ross. You know what I'm saying? Sam?
This is a good start.
Well, let's get it going. What time is it? Let's see. We're like 11 minutes in, 10 minutes in. Let's not waste another fucking minute.
Okay.
Samantha Lee Lopez, can you tell me what you think happens in the film I know you haven't seen because who did? And I'm not saying it's Johnathon because the movie's bad. I'm not saying it's like the movie's bad. The movie was the movie. I was into it. The whole time I had to know how it ended. You know what I'm saying? But, bro, what the fuck is this? Samantha, tell me what happens in the book adapted to the film. Not Without My Daughter. Hey, you don't have to tell me you've never seen it. I know.
Couldn't even put the... He said that there are a bunch
Look
of...
at Gabby. You guys can't see this, but Samantha's friend is in town, Gabby, and she's right behind the camera. And they can't see you, Gabby. She's waving. So she immediately, she was asking me all day, like, oh, I might know it. And she's naming these things. And you can tell everybody likes to think that they're going to know it. And I kept telling them, like, because sometimes if it's like Gone Girl, or if it's like Dead Presidents even, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Maybe I'm like, yeah, I should ask. It's a possibility.
It's a possibility.
Not Without My Daughter. Hey, you hadn't seen it. You never, were you stumbling around television in the 80s? No? Then you didn't see this.
All right.
Sam, what happens in the movie you've never seen, book adapted to the film, Not Without My Daughter? Gabby just looked it up. I'm sure she's like, what the fuck was that? That's why she laid back down. She's like, I don't know what the fuck that is. 1991, excuse me. That's when it is.
Oh, okay. All right.
Don't
I
go
needed
to the
that
screen.
for a reference for actors. But
1991. Made in the 80s for sure. Had to be making it late if it came out in 91. Or maybe it's made in 90, but I doubt it.
All right.
Not Without My Daughter, Sam.
Julianne Moore and her daughter are on...
Keep going.
All right.
Yo, I'm going to hit you with the DJ Khaled. Keep going. Keep going.
Julianne Moore and a no-name girl at the time, but is like someone huge now, like maybe like a Natalie Portman. Like it was like introducing, you know, like when they always have a kid and they're like, and introducing.
I love that. Julianne Moore and Natalie Portman sounds like an awesome movie. I'm already in.
Mother and daughter living in a trailer.
Living in a trailer. Ooh, redneck.
Yeah.
Trash.
So they go from town to town. Cause she's a single mother. And she kind of is just like making a way for herself. Like she never keeps a job, you know.
So she's not is she a good mom or not a great? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Is she like an anti-hero mom, or she's a good mom but she's not a good mom?
She's a good mom, but she's a bad adult.
That's what I mean. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Where it's like that's also being a bad mom.
Yes.
You know the adults, Sam, and we've made fun of these people. The people who have this kind of plaque in the house. I can't adult today. Hey, if you have anything in your house that says I can't adult today, fucking kill yourself. You don't deserve to adult anymore. No more adulting for you. You're done.
It's funny. I know who he's talking about. Also, my mom has a plaque like that.
Everyone has plaques like that. They're bad people.
Yo, my mom has a wall just full of plaques.
Oh my God.
You've seen the plaque wall?
Dude, that whole, you remember that? You know that commercial that's out right now where they're like, hey, old people, you don't have to like go when you sit down, or
yeah, my mom is every person.
You need a placard that says live, love, laugh. But it's like, I hate that commercial, but it is fucking annoyingly funny because, yeah, that's true. It's real.
So they're living in a
Trailer.
They go from city to city.
Okay.
At some point, someone finds out that she's not going to school.
Uh-huh.
The little girl. And the mom's like teaching her. You know how like in what was that? The new really bad movie we watched where they were living in the woods, the dad and the
Oh, that movie sucked. Fucking suck ass.
Leave No Trace.
Leave No Trace. I love the actor in it, the main guy.
Yeah.
He's so good. He's like 310 to Yuma. So many good movies.
He
he's
did
been
the
in.
brothers thing. We
Hell
saw.
or High Water.
Hell or High Water. And the daughter in that movie is really good too.
Yeah, but together they were terrible.
Yeah, it was just a bad movie. It was too long and
About
had
nothing.
Yeah, it had no.
It was the
plot.
same as that movie that just won Best Movie this year. No Man's
Oh,
Land.
that was terrible too.
Also, the movie about pooping in a bucket.
Yeah,
Like,
so
an hour and a half of pooping in a bucket.
this movie is kind of a mix of both of those movies.
Okay.
Because they're in a
90,
trailer.
More 90s.
More 90s. So someone finds out that the daughter is like, so every time they have to leave somewhere, it's because people find out the daughter's not like living the right life. She's not
Well, yeah, 'cause people are like,
in
oh
the
my
right
God.
conditions. Yeah.
Yeah, people trying to get her to like foster home.
So this keeps happening, and at some point, they like try to take her away from her,
Of course.
and then the mother turns her whole entire life around so that
course.
she can keep her daughter. But once they finally have this whole place and everything,
At
she's
some point, she
completely-
loses her daughter, right?
She's already lost her daughter. So
Okay.
at the end, like in the middle, she loses her daughter. She turns her whole entire life around to keep her daughter, and so her daughter comes back, and they have this life, which is like a quote unquote normal life.
Yeah.
And they're both really, really unhappy, and that's how it ends with like this, like, you made us live this way, and we hate it.
Who's you?
Civilization.
Okay. Now, you know how you would think, 90s movie, Not Without My Daughter. I had to hit something. Out of what you just said, you're like, I had to hit something. Right?
I didn't think I hit anything right, honestly.
But you would think it'd be pretty simple. 90s movies, like, how many meta 90 movies are there? You know what I'm saying?
It's like that.
What do you mean?
Meta.
No, I'm saying, like, how many, like, you would just assume a 90s movie with the title Not Without My Daughter.
It's pretty straightforward.
It's probably straightforward.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. It's not?
I'm also saying you got nothing right.
Mm-hmm.
You were not close to any of it. No one could be close. No one could be close. What the fuck is this movie, Johnathon Sanders? Hey, Bean Mafia, if you want the power that Johnathon Sanders has, just give me more money. And I can do The Departed or something. You know what I mean? And we don't have to do Not Without My Daughter. But we're going to do it, Jonathan. And you know I'm going to fucking deliver, because that's what I fucking do. All right? My nickname, everybody called me Postman because it had nothing to do with my last name. People found out later that my last name was Poston. They would be like, oh, bro, I thought, no. It's like, no, the nickname came first, and then my last name came.
Yeah, before he even was born, his parents
Called me I fucking deliver. So I'm going to fucking nail this, because also this movie is amazing. Now, I'm shitting on it so much because, as a lot of the Bean Mafia who've been here for the last 200 plus episodes know, Deric loves a bad movie. Deric loves a bad movie.
Yeah, he loves a bad
I
movie.
love a bad movie. And the worse, the better.
Oh, yeah.
And it's not that this movie's bad. It's just, I can't believe they fucking made it. Okay? But then again, this really happened, bro. This is a 100% true story.
Oh, really?
They went 100% off the book.
What?
Other than, it's the 90s, so we'll get it other than the main reasons.
That she's hot? Whoever it
No.
is? Oh.
Hey, no, they didn't do that. That's not what they
That
went.
wasn't the thing they did wrong.
Okay? You ready to hear Not Without My Daughter? Sam, are you ready to hear this movie, Not Without My Daughter?
I am, but I think we have some bills to pay.
We got to pay the bills. Johnathon Sanders, thank you for bringing us this episode.
Thank
Bean
you.
Mafia, if you want to be Johnathon Sanders, $100, that's the price. Send it in, Venmo, spoilthebeans@gmail.com. Spoilthebeans@gmail.com. Hit us up there or any social media platform, and we'll get right back to you. $100, I'll do whatever movie you want. I'll tell it to whatever friend hasn't seen it. There's already a list of it's literally it's like 30. It's like 30 movies in. So it'll just go forever, and I love this. Because I'm super busy. It's hard to give you guys 3. It was impossible to give you 3 with doing stand-up. But it's fun to give you 2, even though we've always given 1. But it's fun to give 2 because now you guys are more involved. It's like 1 for me, 1 for you.
It's like y'all are the producers.
You know what I'm saying? And I love that. And it's fun and it's cool. And we don't have to do a Patreon. Everybody gets the episodes for free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You guys are help supporting the beans. It's fucking beautiful. I love you all. Again, you want to pick the movie? Just send it in. Any Spoil the Beans social media, spoilthebeans@gmail.com. and let me know what movie you want, and I'll do it.
And if you want your movie to come to the front of the line, imagine if you were going to go out to eat and you wanted to sit in a really good spot. What would you do to the maitre d'? You'd grease the wheels.
Just treat me like a usher that is taking you to your table, baby. Grease my hand up. Samantha, I looked over and noticed you're wearing a shirt.
I am. I love shirts.
Thank God. We've had problems before, but she's wearing one today. And Sam, if you like shirts as much as I do, because I know we're both wearing flannels, but when I'm not wearing a flannel, I'm wearing a T-shirt. And when I'm wearing a T-shirt, I'm only wearing a T-shirt from one place.
Oh, and I know that place. It's Hidden Village Customs.
Guys, www.hiddenvillagecustoms.com. Best shirts in the game, best stuff in the game. Guys, literally, all their shirts are really cool because they mix them with like anime. They mix it with sports. I have this amazing shirt. It's like LeBron and Anthony. It's a hoodie. And it's LeBron and Anthony Davis, but their heads are Goku and Vegeta. You know what I'm saying? Like, they mix really cool stuff. I just saw they did one. It's Devin Booker yelling, but he's got the Super Saiyan Goku hair. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, they make amazing shit. Go check them out. www.hiddenvillagecustoms.com. They're based out of the Bay Area. They support local like softball teams and football teams. They make all their jerseys.
They're good people.
They're good people. Gabe is not a pedophile, we hope. So
we're pretty sure.
We're pretty sure. Well, I mean, you can't all the way be sure, but we're pretty sure.
We only get to spend, the few little moments we do talking to him.
To him, but we're banking that he's not, because he shouldn't be, because that'd be weird. So again, guys, hiddenvillagecustoms.com. Mm-hmm. Go show Gabe some love. Guys, they're from the Bay Area, so if you're a Bay Area beaner, go show them some fucking love, guys. Hidden Village Customs. Best shirts in the game. The best thing about their shirts, this is the best thing about their shirts. You can wash them, and what, Sam?
They never wear out.
They don't fade. They don't shrink.
You put them in the dryer?
Put them in the dryer. No fade, no
shrinkage.
That's huge.
Yeah, and like
the logo's crisp.
A cool logo, like a lot of times over time it wears out. But I don't even. I just put it right in the dryer. I don't mess around. I don't do any like special stuff with my laundry. I'm lazy, and it still looks good.
Guys, they have the best stuff. Hidden Village Customs. Go show them some love right now. Samantha.
Yes.
I smoked some weed before the episode started.
Yes, you did.
Because I only smoke weed from one place.
Oh, and I know that place.
Happy Canary. Guys, Happy Canary on all social media platforms. HappyCanary. It's a bird. It's weed. Put them together. Fly high. You know what I'm saying?
And get happy.
Gabe, I just did that marketing for you. You owe me money.
Yeah, use that.
No, not Gabe. Hayden.
That's Hayden.
Guys, Happy Canary. It's when I went to Maine, when me and Sam went to Maine during COVID, we met this wonderful young man who was a high top beaner. He loved the Bean Mafia. He loved the pod. And he just wanted to hook us up with weed. He wanted to make sure we were taken care of while we were in Maine. And since then, the relationship has grown. We've had a lot of dinners. He's fun. He's come to a lot of comedy shows. And now he's our boy. He's come to Austin a bunch. You know what I mean?
We support him. And his relationship.
We support him. We restore his relationship with Jenna.
Glad you guys are in love.
Glad you guys are in love. They both have great bodies. They both take care of themselves physically.
They're so hot.
That's important. Okay?
And he wears a chain.
He wears a chain. I don't like that much, but I don't mind it. You know? I don't like it, but I don't mind it. Again, Hayden, go show him some love. Happy Canary, guys. Maine, best weed ever. I promise you. I'm lit. I'm always lit, and it's because of Happy Canary. Sam.
Yes.
I noticed you've been getting into more sports.
I have. I'm really interested into the relationships and the personalities of the players.
Yes, you are. You've been keeping up with the NBA playoffs because that's been going on right now.
There's a lot of cute guys who play basketball.
Sam likes that. Suns just made it to the finals. Mm-hmm. That's where we are filming this episode. Suns made it last night. They're in. All right, we got to see. Hawks are 2-2. They're playing tonight. Giannis is out. Trae Young, we don't know. That's where we're at, guys. Shit is fucking real, okay?
It's real.
But we're not talking basketball.
What are we talking about, Deric?
I'm asking you about football, Sam. Do you like football players?
Oh, I do like football players. I like big, muscular football players, especially the ones that do podcasts and are
children.
Great dads. Yeah.
I know you like fathers.
I love fathers.
Sam loves a good father.
Love a good dad.
She loves a good dad. And guys, there's only one dad who gets the job done right, and that's Darren Bates.
Yo.
Darren Bates, my best buddy, my NFL friend, my fucking black dad friend. Guys, he can do it all.
I've met his kids. They're very well behaved.
Very well behaved children. That's actually very impressive.
I am super impressed, honestly.
It's legitimately impressive. Guys, Darren Bates, go show him some fucking love. All he wants from you, he wants one thing. He doesn't want you to buy anything. He doesn't want you to check out his business. He just wants one thing. He wants you to go to his Instagram at Westlandson_56. Darren Bates, DarenBates. Again, at Westlandson_56. Beautiful picture of his mother. All right? You click on that. You hit follow. That's all he wants.
And he also wants you to tell him the beans sent you.
He wants to know that the beans is how you got there. Say, hey, I follow instructions. I'm a good beaner. You know what I mean? I'm a part of the Bean Mafia. Deric asked me to do something. I'm doing it. Darren, the beans sent me. He will say thank you or 100 or my nigga or my man. Who knows? Okay?
He might just heart it.
He might just heart it. I don't know. But he'll be happy. It'll make him feel good. It'll let him know that he's got another fucking brother in his life, another sister in his life. We love you, Bean Mafia. Follow my orders.
Do it. He's king.
I am God.
Yep, it's true. He used to book the Madhouse.
I used to book the Madhouse. Did you, listeners? Did you used to book a club in San Diego? No? Then shut the fuck up. You do what I say. You go to Darren Bates' page and you follow him and you say the bean sent me. And then you go to his podcast on all podcast platforms. However you're listening to this, you go to the Raw Room Podcast. R-A-W-R-O-O-M, Raw Room, 2 words, Raw Room, like raw sex, like the movie Room with Brie Larson. Guys,
exactly like
put
that.
them together. Raw sex, the movie Room with Brie Larson. Those are the 2 things I'm talking about right now. Darren's podcast. He's had amazing guests like Malcolm Butler. He just went on Bussin' with the Boys. Go listen to that episode of Bussin' with the Boys with Darren Bates. And go show our boy some love, okay?
Show him some love. He's
Show
a
him
good
some
guy.
love. He is a great man. Sam.
Yes.
Oh, bills are paid.
Thank God.
It's so fucking hard. It's tiring.
I kind of enjoy it.
I totally get most big podcasts because I've been on a lot of big podcasts. Most big podcasts don't do the ad reads until the end of the episode. And I totally get that now because it is a momentum killer.
Yeah, I kind of think like it warms us up. I get excited because I know all the people that support us. I know
That's
Darren.
true.
I know Hayden. I've never met Gabe, but at this point, I feel like I know Gabe.
This is what I would like, though. It'd be nice that we were in a studio where people do all the editing and all that stuff together. We pay them for that, and then we can just film the movie, and then after the episode, I can do the ad reads, and then they edit the fucking ad reads in. You know what I'm saying? So now instead of these 3 ads would be spaced throughout the episode.
Well, if you're an editor in the Austin area and want to get involved at the ground level in a podcast.
If you're an editor with a studio or you know how to work cameras and you want to be our guy, you want to be our Jamie, you want to be our fucking Chen, you know what I'm saying? You want to be our Ben Avery, whatever your podcast is, whatever podcast you listen to, Red Band. Yo, we need that. We used to have one in Gabe when me and Hassan, if you go back to the old episodes and you see we had a studio, we used to have a guy. His name was Gabe, and he did all this for us, okay? We don't have it anymore. He moved on to better things. Hassan went and died. You know what I'm saying?
It was a sad day.
It was a lot of things changed. You know what I'm saying? So now I need a new guy. So if you're in Austin and you want to help us with the Spoiler Beans, and you want to be a part of something on the ground floor, and also you want to help like if we had somebody making it look better and putting up clips and doing all the editing, who knows what it would do? You know, who knows? So if you want to be that person to help us out, come on, part of the Bean Mafia, baby. Come on, baby. Be a part of the ground floor. Sam?
Yes.
I'm tired. I'm not going to do the movie anymore.
Okay, let's go to bed.
No bed, because there's no sex involved in that.
Wait, what are you talking about? We do it.
We don't do it.
We did it yesterday.
That was not me.
You want what? We did it twice.
That wasn't me again.
Oh my
I don't
God.
know who that was.
He didn't use protection.
That's on you. And who this stranger is. Guys, enough about Sam's affair. Are you ready for the movie, babe?
I don't know. I feel violated.
No, well, you violated someone else.
Did I?
And our trust. Again, you ready for the movie?
Yes.
Samantha, are you ready for Not Without My Daughter? Johnathon Sanders, are you ready for what you're about to spring on the whole Bean Mafia right now? My God, what is wrong with you, sir? I like you, but you're fucking crazy. Movie starts. Mm-hmm. Super intense music. Way too intense. For what the title of a movie, Not Without My Daughter, the credits are rolling, and Sam, I mean like Terminator 2 intense. Mm-hmm. Like dun 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 dun. Not Without My Daughter.
Okay.
Right? Already you're like, bro, already I was like, not what I thought. What? Why does it sound like Schwarzenegger finna pop out? Mm-hmm. Music gets less intense. Dun, 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 dun. Beautiful classical music. We come into a beautiful lake, beautiful dock. Sam, it looks exactly like Leo's backyard in Maine. It looks like, if you go watch the Terminator, the Training Day episode of Spoil the Beans. If you go look, that's exactly how the movie looks when it starts. It's just beautiful scenery, okay? We see people fishing on the lake. Alpena, Michigan.
Okay.
1984.
All right.
All right? We see a father and a child fishing on a lake. we see a grandmother and mom walking. Well, like Leo had that little hill down to the dock. Like walking down that little area down to the dock. Okay, the mother, our lead in this, the great Sally Fields.
Oh, I love Sally Fields.
I know.
Huh.
Remember when I told you the two leads in this? You'll be like, totally A-list, but you'll be like, what?
Interesting.
I know.
Okay.
But A-list.
Yeah, but when you said A-list now, like
Sally Fields is, everybody knows who that is. If you say her
everyone
name,
knows
everyone
who Sally
knows who that
Fields is, but she hasn't worked in years.
No, but she wasn't like.
Yeah, I guess I was
everyone
thinking someone more relevant today.
I know you were thinking that.
I get it. That's why I went with Julianne.
You were surprised. So we see Sally Fields and she's with her mom. And you hear the daughter, go, mommy, daddy's teaching me to fish. Daddy's teaching me to fish. And she goes, Moody, Matab, come on in.
She says what?
So the dad's name is Moody.
Uh-huh.
The daughter's name is Matab.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Sam, they're supposed to be.
Are they supposed to be Native American?
Matab.
I don't know what that means.
Moody and Matab. Matab wouldn't be Native American.
Well, I don't think Moody would be Matab.
That's Iranian.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
These are supposed to be.
Wait, they're all Sally Field too?
They're supposed to be brown people.
No.
Yes.
No. Wait, who's the dad?
The father, we see, Mr. Moody, Dr. Moody, is Dr. Octopus from Spider-Man.
Wait, what's that guy's name?
Alfred Molina.
Wait, these are white, very, very white people.
Sam, I know.
These aren't even like ethnically ambiguous white people.
No.
I'm clearly white.
Their last name is supposed to be Mahmoudi.
Wait, so is that relevant to the story, or did they just
Yes.
make them Iranian for no reason?
Sam, it's a true story. What do you mean?
Oh, yeah.
You're forgetting this is a book, dude. This is what makes this even more crazy if this all happened.
Oh, that's crazy. Now that you say it like that, I'm like, I do remember hearing about a book like this. Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. It's Doc Ock.
All
That's
right,
who our
I'm
lead is.
seeing
That's
it.
who our other lead.
I can't take the stuff off of him. So
No, it's hard. The whole movie, go ahead and give him them 8 arms. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and he's going to have the goggles too.
You want a way to a woman's heart, Peter? Read her poetry.
Read her poetry.
Read her poetry. So, they all sit at the lake and they're having a beautiful lunch. The grandma's there. So this is the grandma is the only white person. The grandma is Sally Fields is supposed to be mixed,
With
white, and her dad is like Iranian.
okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's whoever this character. But I will say this: never read the book. I haven't seen a picture of what the real Betty Mahmoudi looks like. I'm assuming a little more brown than white. Could be wrong. It is a mix, sometimes mixed, and then when the mom is white, you do lean mixed couples. Mm-hmm. I mean, a mixed child, you lean whatever the mom is. That's why I look more black. Whatever the mom is, and you see other kids who are mixed and they look a little more white, it's because the mom is white.
That makes sense. You spend way more time inside your mom than you do inside your dad.
But I'm just, for every mixed person I've ever met in my entire life, that's how they look. You lean to what your mother is, okay?
Yeah.
So it makes sense that it does make sense a little bit that Sally, she might look like a Sally Fields. She might look like a straight up white woman. But the Dr. Mahmoudi, the full on Iranian, definitely doesn't look like Doc Ock.
I mean, there's plenty of Iranian people that are very white. They like passing.
There are.
Not
he's supposed to be
not that.
He's supposed to be a full-blooded Sam. He's supposed to be from
Not
Iran,
that.
like born in Iran, raised in Iran. Do you feel me? He's Iranian, bro.
Yo, okay.
So the father is quizzing the daughter on her knowledge of all the vitamins and like what vitamin C is. And the daughter's clearly really smart.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But I mean, her dad is a doctor, so she's really smart. The grandma is like, oh my God, my kids weren't that smart when they were young. And Sally Fields is like, Mom, and it's just like a sweet like moment, just a great family moment time. So, he's telling her how the dad's telling him how I was teaching Matab to fish today. And she's like, oh, you don't know how to fish, honey. And they all laugh. And it's just sweet. They're making fun of each other. And the daughter runs out like, Daddy can fish. And they're all hugging and laughing. It's very sweet. Good acting, by the way. These are two amazing actors.
Oh, yeah.
We see Doc Ock the next day at work. He's at the hospital. And he's in what would be like a doctor's lounge, like a teacher's lounge, but for doctors.
I've seen Scrubs.
Yeah, the doctor's lounge. And the other doctor, he's sitting reading a paper, like in the corner. Other doctors are talking shit about all these brown doctors in the hospital, which would be true. He would have to overhear shit like this.
Especially at that era of time.
Yes.
That's when it like is really ramping up that we have that.
Brown doctors. And he's hearing how like Iranian doctors aren't real doctors and oh my God. And because they got their degree there, like, oh, I paid a degree to get $2 with goats or whatever. They're just like saying shit like that.
Oh, dude.
Just talking that, just being haters, And he's listening, and you can tell he's pissed, and he folds his paper, and he like leaves upset.
It's weird to like single out brown doctors. It's like that also Asian doctors are taking a lot of your jobs too.
They were including everybody.
Oh, just anyone who wasn't American.
Brown, brown. They were summing up like that, all that.
Yeah, and they like immigrants.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because he's an actual immigrant.
Yeah.
Right? So cut to him at the house, and they have a beautiful house, like I said. Mm-hmm. And he's sitting on the lawn, and he's listening to classical music, and you could tell something's wrong. Like he's pissed. And Sally Fields walks up, and she's like, honey, what's wrong? And he's like, oh, nothing, baby, I'm fine. And she's like, everything is not fine. What's wrong? And he's like, oh, no, everything's fine. And he goes, my cousin called from Iran, Nazarene. They just had the baby. They just had a baby boy. And she's like, oh, that's great. But she's like, honey, I'm not going to let you get, like, what's wrong? Mm-hmm. And he goes, heard some more doctors just cracking jokes at the hospital. And she's like, who? And very white woman, you know what I mean? Like, who? And he's like, honey, it doesn't matter. She's like, it does matter. We moved away from, I forgot where they moved from. They moved from another city to Michigan to get away from, like, ignorance. That's what she said.
Yo, but you're still in Michigan.
You're still in Michigan. It doesn't make
sense. It's not like you moved to, like, D.C. or New York City or LA.
Which it still would happen. That's why
it would
it's
still
like...
happen, but it's at least in those cities, there's
more
diversity.
Yeah. So she goes, he's like, it doesn't matter. And then she's so mad. She starts crying because she feels bad for him. You know what I mean? And he hugs her, and he's like, forget it, honey. There's dumb people everywhere. We'll never be able to escape dumb people.
Yeah.
Which he's right. It's like, we can't escape that. So... Cut to, we see the dad reading the daughter a story before bed.
Cute.
He's reading her Aladdin.
Interesting.
Okay. And he's reading it to her, and she's loving it, obviously.
Do you think this is really part of the book, or do you think, like, white people are like, oh, they're brown. He's reading her Aladdin.
Sam, I don't know. Just wait.
Okay.
I don't know.
I can't wait.
Just wait. He tells her... So she's reading, she's all excited. She's asking questions about Aladdin's home. Mm-hmm. And he tells her that's actually where he's from. He's like, that's where Daddy's from. And she gets all excited, obviously. And he's like, that's true. They have mountains, they have caves, and they have deserts, and beautiful mosques. And mosques so beautiful, they look like jewels. Which is like, the daughter's like, And he goes, would you like to see that one day? And she's like, yeah. And then it's quiet. He's like, I'll take you one day, I promise. And then she goes, Daddy? He goes, yeah. She goes, do I hate Americans? And he goes, what? Of course not. What? Why would you say that? Who told you that? And she's like, my friend Lucille at school says, I hate Americans because you're from Iran. And he has to have a dad moment. He has to think for a second.
That sucks even more than the doctor.
I thought this movie's interesting. It's like, whoa, bro. I just didn't. Why would someone pay for this? You see what I'm saying, Sam? It's like, what is Johnathon Sanders like? Yo, you know what movie needs to happen right now?
I think he sent a thought-provoking one last time, too.
Did he?
I want to say so, but I can't remember what it was.
It's interesting.
We have to go back and list all the episodes.
But like, this isn't like a famous. This is like, bro. This is like you saw this movie. Who saw Not Without My Dog? What is this movie so far?
I mean, it's very sweet.
It is sweet
so far.
So, Daddy, do I hate Americans? Of course not. And he goes, sweetheart, Lucille doesn't know what she's talking about. First off, okay. And his daughter smiles, and he said, I lived in this country for 20 years now. I'm as American as apple pie. Mm-hmm. And the daughter smiles. He goes, and so are you. And he gives her a kiss, and then they big hug, right? So the next day, you hear him speak in Farsi on the phone, and Sally Fields comes up, and she's got her Michigan sweater on, which lets you know, like, bro, that had to be real, because this Michigan sweater is like on the whole time. It's like this shit must have been like, they got that from the book, and she's all worried because she can tell he's speaking like serious, right? Mm-hmm. And he hangs up Doc Ock, and he's like, that was my sister from back home. She's sick. She's not doing well. She wants me to come home. I haven't seen her in 20 years.
Yeah.
So this movie's like fucking like, yeah, fool. It's like, what? I told you, Sam. It's like, what? She's like, I got to go home. He's like, and she's like, she wants me to come home. She wants me to look after her because I'm a doctor.
Yeah.
And he says how he hasn't been home in 10 years. It's like, it's been 10 years since the last time I've gone just to visit. They want to see me. I want to see them. And she's like, honey. And he goes, it's not just that. He's like, they want to see us. My family's never met you. They've never met Matab. That's not fair.
Yeah.
No, yeah, totally Yeah. And he keeps asking, and she's like, no. And then he's like, why? Why can't we just go visit? And she's like, well, you just have to explain to them, honey. He's like, explain what? Why? Why can't we go? And she goes, it's too violent. And he looks, and he goes, baby, we aren't going sightseeing. We're going to be with my family. That's all we're going to do. We're not doing, like, it's not like we're going out. We don't do that.
We're not going to be on the streets.
No, we're going to, we're going to go visit my family. That's not fair for her to say it's violent because it's like, yo, they live there too. Like,
also,
what do you mean?
It's like, even though you're like half Iranian or whatever she is, you've never lived there.
You don't know.
What do you know? All you know is the American perspective on it.
Exactly.
That would make me so mad that it's like,
if I told you, it would be a fight. That's a fight.
I mean, you could say that about Baltimore. Like, if you weren't from,
yeah, of course.
If you were like from a different, like Australia, and we were married.
Like, I've only seen, and you've seen The Wire.
Yeah.
But that'd be also crazy to be like, because you would also be like, hey, you know, I was born there, and I would have told you if I lived in The Wire, wouldn't I?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, yo, why are you? Because of course Iran is bad. Just like any place can be bad, but you know that like there's also clearly livable places.
Yeah, because it's like, my family's still alive, aren't they?
Yeah, they're not just have guns. They're not just, you know what I'm saying? Like, what do you? I would be annoyed by that, of like just the ignorance of that statement. And so you know he's going off. And well, she says that, and then he goes, we're going to my family. And she says, no. And she goes, honey, your family's welcome here. They're always welcome here. She's like, but maybe you just need to go on this trip alone. And then that's where he gets pissed. He's like, yo, what the fuck? And then when she says that, she apologizes. She's like, I didn't mean that. I know that sounds bad. He's like, what do you mean? Like, I go alone? Like, that's, because I feel it was like, what the fuck? You don't control this. So she's like, it's just not safe. And he goes, look, honey, I haven't seen anyone in my family for 10 years. And then right then the daughter starts calling from another room, mommy, mommy, mommy. And she looks at him like, he's like, go. It's okay, go. And then she leaves, and then he sits in the room for it. And it's a great shot because he's just like heartbroken. You can tell that shit like really hurt his feelings, you know? So that night, cut to that night, they're in bed. And he goes, honey, he comes in the room. She's like, yeah. He straight up begs. He goes, please, I'll do anything. I want to go more than anything. I need it right now. I miss them so much. Just 2 weeks. Can we do a 2-week vacation, please? And I want to visit my family. And Sally feels like, I'm scared, honey. I don't think it's good. And he goes, honey, you think I would take you and my daughter anywhere I thought was actually dangerous? Do you really think that? I love you both more than anything in the world. Matab would get a 2-week vacation right before school starts. Like, how awesome is that? That's good times for her. And then she's like, oh, I don't know. And he goes, honey. And he looks around and he grabs the Quran. He goes, honey, and he puts his hand on it. He goes, I swear on everything, we will be back in 2 weeks. Everything will be fine. I promise you. It's not a big deal, honey. Trust me. I love you. Why are you making that face?
I don't like this lead up. I feel like something terrible is going to happen now. I was in his side for a long time, but now that he has to like beg and plead, it's like, well, this is.
Well, that's on her. Why did she make him do that?
Well, yeah, she shouldn't do that. But it's like, I know how movies work.
Yeah. Well, you honestly, in this point, you don't like her.
Okay.
It's not him.
Oh, no, I'm not on her side. It's just, it feels
like he's
that
a very
way,
clearly like, oh, this is a sweet fight. You know what I mean? And you don't like it. There's whatever, but they are setting up that of like she's racist.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, okay.
Well, I mean, have you heard what? Like, listen.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. So, cut to plane landing in Iran. Okay, they get out. Third world country. Yeah. Obviously, like, you know what I'm saying? Big difference. Brown women and men everywhere. The women all have the fucking Sharon. Is it
like a really small airport and
super small airport? You know what I mean? Super small town. But I mean, we're talking like 50 to 100 people run up. All of his family. Like he really,
big family.
Huge, of course, and they're close.
And he's been gone for so long.
Yeah, so everyone came to see him.
And you're excited because it's like a parent or grandparent. You're like, wow, I'm going to meet my grandchild for the
first
first time.
I'm going to meet, exactly, all that.
Yeah, that's a lot.
And think about how close his family is. Like everybody there. So everyone's going crazy. It's like they won the Super Bowl. He gets on the plane, everybody's screaming. They're so excited. Everybody's running up and introducing themselves to the wife, to the daughter. Everybody's telling her Matab means moonlight, your moonlight. Aww. You know what I mean? Like, just, it's very beautiful, Is
the rest of the family also played by white people?
No, everyone, this is Iran. That's why it's like, no, this is what everybody would look like.
Okay.
Especially him.
Yeah.
Why would he not look like his family? Everybody in his family's name looks like Hassan. Why does this nigga look like Doc Ock?
Not even like a bunch of guys that look like Fahim, like.
No, I mean, yeah, or Fahim. I'm saying, but like, why doesn't at least Doc Ock look like Fahim?
Yeah, dude.
You telling me this nigga has the same mom and dad as all these motherfuckers? Yeah, he looked like Doc Ock. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what I mean. Like, that's the whiteness
What is
of
Doc
it.
Ock's like background?
Melina? What is he? Let's see.
Maybe he is like half, and that's why
He
they
might
felt
be.
like they could
He
do
might
it.
be. He might be part.
I'm curious.
Alfred Molina. He looks like he's something.
I thought he was Hispanic.
This nigga is British. Get the fuck out of here.
Oh, well, he could definitely be brown then. There's lots of brown people in England. Go look at see if his parents were immigrants.
It says British, fool.
He could have been born in Britain, but maybe
United
his parents.
Kingdom. His father is Spanish immigrant from Madrid.
Yo.
This nigga has nothing
So white.
to do with this shit, fool. Nothing, bro. Now, I do get it. He is an unreal actor, and he is incredible. Like, he is that good. It ain't like you're watching going, you believe that he's brown. And also, his Farsi sounds real.
Oh, wow. Good. Well, you know Farsi, Deric.
Well, I know Farsi. No, I'm saying he sounds like the rest of the family.
Okay.
Like, this nigga, you can tell. He's also that kind of actor, though.
He's very good.
He's a British actor. Them niggas don't play.
They don't play. They know what they're doing.
They know what they're doing.
They're coming to take all our jobs.
Facts. So everybody's, all excited, blah, 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 showing all this love. Everyone's hugging. She's like, oh, my God, I'm so excited for the visit. And they're like, everybody's like, we're so excited you to be visiting. Best 2 weeks. Like, they're all excited,
Aww.
Everyone, the sister, though, this is the first thing you notice, or you notice something. The sister, his sister, the one that says she's sick, she's older. She's clearly the older sister. All right? She grabs the daughter, and she goes, look, everybody. She looks, in Farsi, she goes, she looks like the husband and me. And everybody's like, yeah. And everybody laughs. And they walk on. And it ain't nothing wrong with it, but it's just she does say it with a little bit.
Like, thank God she doesn't look like the white
Yes,
wife.
you feel something. And Betty feels it. And of course, the camera angle obviously makes it really feel it. But you do, it's the first time you're like, is that a jab? What is that? What does that mean? Okay. So they start walking, and Betty's like, wow, you know all these people? He goes, all of them. He goes, this is my whole family. She's like, wow. She goes, honey, they really missed you. And he's like, I know, I missed them too. And right then the sister goes, hello, and she hands a gift to Betty. And then he's like, open it. And she opens it, and it's one of them robes.
Yeah.
Right? And the sister's like, like,
you want to wear it? Put it on.
now. And then he goes, put it on. And she goes, oh, I'll put it on later. He goes, no, put it on. It'd be rude. Put it on now. And she's like, oh, okay. So she puts it on, right? And they all get in the car and they leave, like all the families that she has on. And they're in the car, and as they're driving, now they're driving through this big, crazy city.
Yeah.
All right? And Betty's looking around, and she's wrapping the scarf around her head, covering up her hair and shit. And she's like, I thought, she looks over at her husband, she's like, I thought foreign women don't have to wear Islamic dress. And he's like, I thought so too, but apparently the rules have changed since I've been here. He's like, he said, my whole family, he's like, only half the women used to wear them. He's like, even I'm like, why? They all have it on now. It's like, so that, like you can tell, he's like, that one caught me off guard too, but I'm celebrating that I'm here. So,
yeah.
But I'm also like, oh, that's interesting. Okay. And then she goes, well, what happens if I don't wear it? He goes, I don't know. And he taps his sister. He goes, and then the sister turns and like angrily is like, and then he's like, and he looks at her and he's like, you'll get arrested.
Yeah.
And she's like, okay. And you see the sister's like, yeah, nigga.
It's supposed to be the 80s.
91.
No, it's
86.
80s. Yeah.
86. Yep. So as they're driving through the neighborhood, everyone's throwing flowers on the car. Everyone's so happy to see him.
Wow.
Right? They open the door to get out, and when they open the door to get out, they're slaughtering a goat in front of the car, right? And the daughter is screaming and like, "Oh my God, Daddy, no!" And the mom kind of, this is what I didn't like about Sally. Like I thought sometimes she's like, "Honey, what is this?" And he goes, "Baby, no, it's a good thing. That means you're home, and they give them all the meat to the poor, and it's like." It's a cultural thing. And like he's trying to explain it to the daughter. It's just, and she like storms off. And it is like, right. It's like, hey, bro, you don't get to choose what's good and bad here.
How come also like you get to be the supportive wife when the other doctors are talking shit, but when you're here, you can be like, I'm Karen.
Yeah, you get to have any opinion on this shit. Ugh. So they go up to the roof, and they're at the sister's place, and they're watching everyone pray. You see, like how everyone's praying on this big thing. Mm-hmm. And she's talking to another cousin, the Nazarene cousin.
Yeah. And
this cousin speaks English, and she's really nice. Okay? She's nice to her. And you see pictures of this dictator everywhere, and she's kind of looking around. It's like, oh, I'm in Iran, They're laying in bed. It's night. Everybody's passed out. And you hear, do. Hello? Right? And he's like, oh. And Doc Ock gets up and she's like, what's wrong? He's like, prayers. And he gets up and he fucking goes downstairs in his PJs and all the men are already there and they're all waiting on him. Yeah. And then they all start praying. Because it's like, bro, you back and if you're going to be here.
You're going to do it.
You got to do it. You don't get to just fucking be here. It's like, damn, also, yo, you wake me up in the middle of the night for prayers? Fuck that. Why can't we pray in the morning?
No, because it's a specific time, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, I can't be. Just off that, can't be Muslim. You're not waking me up at 2 a.m.
Yeah, you need the Catholic version.
Yeah, what if I don't fall back asleep?
I need I go for this 3 holidays version of Muslim.
Yeah. Fool.
Whatever Hassan's doing,
which is not waking me up at 2 in the morning. So, cut to all them shopping the next day. They're all out in the market and everybody's happy, having a good time. Betty's hair, so she's got the scarf on, but her bangs are showing. Her bangs, okay? You see a car pull up. And all these women in robes and dude in the military uniforms get out. AK-47 in her motherfucking face. Fix your hair. And then one of the cousins is yelling at her like, fix your hair right now. Right now, fix your fucking hair. And then her husband's like, fix it, like Betty. And she's like, oh my God. Oh, and the daughter's screaming, obviously, And then, everybody walks off. And he goes, honey, I'm so sorry. He's like, they didn't know you were a foreigner. They wouldn't have been so aggressive. I'm so sorry. And then she's like, oh my God, so white. All that for a little bit of hair?
Dude, do you not read the news?
Bro, the cousin, so one of the cousins here who speaks English goes off.
The nice one or a different one? The one that was nice to her?
The one that's married to Nazarene. He speaks English too.
Okay, so it's a male one.
Yeah, but he goes off because she says that, just for a little bit of hair, and he's like, you must not be careless. It is serious. Very serious. He goes, every hair is a dagger to the heart of our martyrs. That is not to be joked with. Bitch, just because she says it in a little bit of hair, but also it's like you're supposed to be on her side.
Yeah,
when you're watching this, America, you're supposed to be.
They didn't know anything about all this.
Bro, so they didn't care. This is what they want you to watch this movie. That's why it's so fucked. They want you to watch this on. That's what you're not supposed to be against Sally. I'm against Sally Fields because I'm watching this from now perspective.
Well, also you have more information.
In 91, you're watching this going, those monsters.
Yeah, you're so removed from it. And also, everything you know about it is what they want you to know from the news. It's not. Wow.
That's why I told you this movie's fucking crazy, Sam. Because they want you to be on a certain side, and I'm not on that side. Because this is some America propaganda shit.
That's crazy. I can't wait to watch this movie.
So, and it's also a true story, which is what the fuck? So.
Who's it written by?
The woman.
Of course. Well, then that's why it's from her perspective.
Sam, we haven't gotten to what the book's about yet.
Okay.
I'm talking about, I don't agree with this stuff. When we get to what the book's about, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Turn Up City.
Yeah, Turn Up. I can imagine what the book's about considering the name of the book.
Okay. So they're sitting and they're praying at dinner and they're all sitting on the floor and they're eating and everyone's talking. Everyone's arguing in Farsi. The men are just arguing.
Is it LeBron or is it Michael?
That kind of arguing, right? And you see the head, the father, his father, the head brown dude at the table. He looks over at the sister. Mm-hmm. And they both kind of make a glaring look at Betty. Betty notices this, right? And you see her kind of get nervous. So after dinner, she's laying with her husband. And she says, she tells him what she thinks she saw. And he says it was nothing. She's like, I don't know. It don't feel like nothing. It feels like they don't like me. Mm-hmm. Like your sister and your father. You know what I mean? And then she's like, no, it's fine. He's like, they do. And she's like, it's so primitive here.
The language.
Women, all the women so covered and put away, to be ashamed of. And then he goes, actually, honey, the women like the robe. Do you know that when they banned those robes, when they banned it so women were allowed to wear what they want, those women went and protested in the streets to have it back the way it was. Mm-hmm. My family was a part of that. Do you realize that? And you see her going but you're supposed to be on her side, and you're just I'm not on her side.
Yeah.
I am on his side. She is wrong, and so far. So, and she goes, I'm sorry. I guess I just don't understand this culture.
Dude, why don't you read the book Persepolis and learn a few things?
Bitch.
It's a graphic novel. You don't even have to read that much.
Watch the movie Lion. I learned a lot from that movie. Aussies all day, mate.
He was Indian.
That's what he says, though. In Lion, That line that I say all the time, Aussies all day, mate. That's when he says it because he thinks he's Australian.
Yeah.
That's the whole point of the movie.
That's true.
He's been whitewashed. So she looks at her husband and she goes, why do you guys argue so much? You and your cousin, since you got here, just been yelling at each other. He goes, oh, it's religious. It's all about the Quran. And they see me now and I'm just this American, all Americanized with my American wife, my American daughter. And she goes, oh my God, I'm sorry. And she's like, she's like, I know I haven't been great and I don't mean to insult anybody. He goes, I know, honey. I know you're trying your best. They hug and they kiss. And he goes, this will seem strange for a couple days, but then after 2 days, everyone's going to love you. I promise. Okay. Just give it a second. And then she's like, I will. And it's quiet. And then he starts laughing. Like he starts laughing hysterically. And she goes, what? And he goes, you want to know something funny? And she goes, what? He goes, they think we have sex all day. And she goes, what? Why? He says, because here they only shower after sex because they need to be clean for prayer. That's the only time people shower is after sex. We shower. And she goes, oh, like 3 times a day. And she starts laughing.
Yo, that's
she goes,
funny.
oh my God, they think we're rabbits. Because she was like, she's like, it's so hot. He's like, I know. Because they've been Americanized. I'm like, I think I'm sweating. I'm showering.
Yeah.
You know? So early the next morning, you hear a guy playing over the speaker, just like, like prayers, like 5 in the morning.
If you only shower after you have sex, when do children shower?
I think children are different. They have weird rules, man. You know, they have rules that clearly only make sense and are only good for the people who make them. I wonder what that's about. So early the next morning, you hear that guy playing over the speaker, and it's like, it's like 3 in the morning, right? Mm-hmm. And you hear do, right? Like to come pray. And she goes, oh, honey, don't go. He goes, I can't do that. And he gets up. He's like, I have to. And then she starts begging him, right? And she goes, it's been a week and a half of this. You don't have to do it every day. Oh my God.
Oh my God, it's only a half a week more. What are you talking about?
And he goes off just like that. He goes, how dare you? He goes, how dare you disrespect my family like that? Show some respect. This is my family. This is their prayers. This is what we do. To say that in their house. He goes, what is wrong with you? Like, he's going off. But again, Sam, the angle is on her, like, frightened. So do you feel, and I'm like, I don't like this.
Yo, Johnathon Sanders, I want to know how you felt when you watched this movie.
Like, whose side are you on watching this, bro? Because this is fucking weird. So, he goes off on her, and then cut to that afternoon, he's watching his daughter play downstairs with the cousins, and they're all happy, right? Mm-hmm. Later that afternoon.
Do they have the daughter in like traditional head wrap and stuff? Or is she so young that it doesn't matter?
None of the kids are. The kids are just all playing. They're all in normal clothes.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I guess for kids, it doesn't matter.
It's probably like something that happens when you hit puberty.
It's also, it's like it's about the religion. It's like when you get baptized or something. It's like this, or, it's like a certain point and then you
like
wear
your confirmation.
Because if you just put the kids in it, then what does it even mean?
Yeah, I guess so.
You're supposed to convert. You're supposed to want to do it.
I always thought that it was part like showing your hair is like being a whore or something.
I think certain things, like when you go out to certain places, I think everyone has to be, even little children. Okay. But when they were just outside playing on the streets, no, it didn't matter.
Oh yeah, like how you go sometimes to someone's house and their baby's just running around in a diaper, and it's like, that's fine.
Yeah, because it's like they're on their street, and all the kids are out playing in the neighborhood. Yeah. And you see what I'm saying? So it's like, why would they put them in garb? It'd be weird.
Yeah. Okay.
So that afternoon, you see Betty. She's on the balcony taking pictures of the beautiful Iran, scenery, and they walk into the house, and he goes, honey, we're about to have dinner. He's like, oh, okay. And he goes, Betty? And he's serious. And she goes, what? He goes, something happened before we came out here. She's like, what? He's like, I didn't want to tell you. She goes, what happened? He sits down. He puts his head in his hands. He goes, honey, they fired me from the hospital.
What?
She goes, just like that. She says literally what you just said. And he goes, it happened 2 days before we left. I was so embarrassed. I didn't tell you. I'm sorry. Right? She sits with him, and she's like, they can't do that. He goes, yes, they can, honey. She goes, no, they can't. She goes, yeah, honey, they can find someone for less money and someone who isn't Iranian. And she goes, Moody, that's ridiculous. I can't believe that. And he looks at, again, you're supposed to be on you are supposed to, the camera angle is like, Moody, that's crazy.
Isn't it crazy how that much they can infer just with camera
angles? With camera angles, you can infer everything, dog. Everything. It's beautiful. That's what makes movies so good. This one, not so much. It's interesting, though. This is I told you, I was into the whole thing, Jonathan. So,
I get why it didn't last the test of time.
oh, you can see why, huh? Because anyone watching this now be like, this is the most racist shit I've ever seen in my life. What is this? Is this supposed to just be Iranians are bad? How dare they?
Wow.
So, he looks at her and he says, you think they like Iranians in Michigan, honey? She goes, well, we moved. And he goes, honey, you think that, like, getting on her, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Which is what we were saying earlier.
Yeah, why would you think Michigan would be any better than wherever the hell you were?
What the fuck is wrong with you? So he tells her, and he goes, you might not see it, honey, but it's always under the surface. It's always there. Which any person of color, you do feel that. You understand that. Of like, bro, you don't know what I'm talking about.
Are we sure she's supposed to be mixed? Or is
She's mixed. I looked, I was curious. So, no, she goes, he tells her, like, not one of my colleagues ever stood up for me. Whenever I was in trouble, not anyone said anything. No one ever tried to help me. Like, there was always these little things to let me know that I wasn't.
You're an outsider.
I'm an outsider. Mm-hmm. And then he gets mad. He's like, and that's supposed to be the medical profession. He like throws something. He's like, supposedly the educated people of the world. And she's like, honey.
Yeah, that sucks.
She goes, what are we going to do? And she grabs him. And she goes, you know what? I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go home tomorrow and we're going to appeal this. You have friends. We have lawyers. It's America. We have laws in America. They can't do that to us, right? And he looks at her. But you're supposed to, the camera angle is like her, like, triumphant. Like, it's up. It's like an up angle of, like, this is America.
Also, it's like, what, you're going to take down a whole hospital? It's not like it's like, they're not going to care then. It's not 2001.
Cut 2. They're packing up the next day. It's the day before they leave. Mm-hmm. Right? Betty's packing with her daughter. They're fun. She's making her laugh. Husband comes in. Sweetheart. And then Betty turns around. She's like, honey, you haven't packed yet. Oh my God, we got to leave. You got to get to packing. Right then, the cousin who speaks English walks in. And he goes, you cannot go. She's like, what? And he goes, you must take passport 3 days ahead to airport to get it checked for approval. Do not do this, cannot go. You didn't do, can't go.
Well, why didn't they tell them that 3 days before?
And she's like, what? Well, when is the next flight? And the cousin's like, and he walks out. Like, not my problem. So, of course, she looks over at Moody and she's like, what the fuck is this? And he's like, I don't know, honey. But he's like kind of meek about it. Right? And then she goes, well, they can't do that. We'll just get the next flight. And then he's like, I don't know if they're going to let us, honey. It's, I don't know if that works like that. She's like, well, Moody, how could you let this happen? He's like, honey, I didn't know. Right? And she goes, well, we're just going to go to the airport. We're not going to stand for this. And we're just going to get on the next flight. And they're not going to tell us, she's like, I'm going to fucking Karen my way. Like, you can't tell us we're not going to get on that plane. Blah, 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 blah.
Customer service. And
then he goes, honey, you can't leave. Right? And she's like, what do you mean? He goes, honey, you can't leave because we aren't going back.
Yo. Okay, now I feel bad for her.
I know, but Sam, of course now you feel bad for her because now clearly this is where the movie starts, right?
Yeah.
You can feel like, oh, there's a turn here. But up to this point, you were supposed to already be feeling bad for her.
It would be much more intense if she wasn't having all these reactions and she was just like kind of like
if
learning.
She was along for the ride and wanted to learn.
And wanted to learn and like even if things were strange, like, oh, I didn't know, but like kind of like less like.
She was apologetic, like not like, oh, for a little pice of hair.
Yeah.
And she was like,
then
damn.
I would feel really, really bad for her. But now it's like, yo, bitch, y'all never talk about anything apparently. That's the first rule of relationships.
You got communication, fool. That's just important.
That's why Phil Dunphy's such a good husband.
That's why Phil Dunphy's a good man. And Jay's a good husband too. Not the first time, but the second time. But he admits that. He says I wasn't a good husband the first time.
He really makes it work this time. Well, you know what? He had more to work for the second time.
Jay has the best heart on the show.
Oh yeah,
by far. And I've said that
he tries his best.
He tries his best. Everyone else, even Phil, sometimes is an ass. Everyone does these little things where it's like you're a dick. He never does that.
Yeah, you're right.
So she's he says we're not going back. He said I'm gonna get a job here at a hospital. I want you and our daughter to live in Iran with my family. And he asked like nicely.
Oh, dude, you can't ask her here.
And then she goes, honey, no. And he goes, baby, there's nothing for me in America. She goes, are you crazy? We are Americans. Your daughter is American. He goes, honey, I want Mahtab to grow up here. She should be a Muslim. And she goes, oh, you lied to me. lied to me. You planned this whole time. And then the daughter goes, Mommy, are we going home? And she goes, yes, Matab, we're going home. Go downstairs and say bye to everyone. So the daughter runs downstairs. And then she goes, honey, I know what's going on, but you have to resist it, okay? And she goes, Moody, I know how much you miss your family, and I know how guilty you feel about leaving them, but I promise you, we can come back and visit more. We can do that. They can visit us more, but we can't stay here. It's backwards here. It's primitive here. I can't raise my daughter like this. And then he goes, I think it's best here for her. And I think it's best here for us. I promise. I'm a doctor here, even more qualified. I'm an actual Muslim. This is where I should be. My family should be here. Matab can learn real values here. And she goes, no, I won't stay here. We are not staying here. That's final. And this nigga, whack, knocks her the fuck out.
Oh, wow.
Here we go.
Oh, my God.
Let's turn up, Sam.
Yo, I was on this guy's side all this time.
I was on his side. Even through this argument, I was on his side.
I kind of like that I wasn't on his side from the beginning. It's like, ooh, here's a turn.
Oh, I was not on his side. I mean, I was on his side the whole movie, even though they don't want you to be. But I was watching going, I'm on his side.
No, I like that I was on his side because of how they portrayed her.
She's racist.
But now it's like, whoa, the tables have turned.
Hey, as racist as she is,
she doesn't need to be beat.
You can't punch her in the face, my nigga. You can ask her to move to Iran. That is allowed to do in the. I'm not saying it's right, Sam, but is it fair? But they're allowed. If it doesn't turn violent, they're allowed to have that argument. That's a fair. He's allowed to say that.
I can't believe he hit her.
Oh, he fucked her up.
Also, it's like they've had a child together. They've been together for a long time. Why are you hitting her here? Is this normal or is this like a new thing?
Sam, you think they don't dive into this shit?
Of course they do.
This is a book. You think they'd leave you hanging?
No.
Like some writers or some random writers wrote this? No, they dive in. So she comes down for dinner later that night. Black eye. Well, not black eye, but like hit in the face eye.
Yeah, bruised.
Bruised. Crying. Everyone looks up at her because everyone's sitting on the floor. She asks the cousin who speaks English to translate. She goes, Nahidi, can you translate this for me? And he nods. And she's crying and she's like, in front of the whole family. I'm sorry if my words aren't straight. I'm a little shaken up. I wondered if I could talk to you and if you could just please try to understand my feelings. Moody and I have been married for 7 years. We lived and trusted each other. I didn't want to come here. Moody knew that. I made it very clear. I made it abundantly clear I did not want to come here. But I came to visit so you all can see our daughter and I can meet you. Moody swore on the Holy Quran, and she holds it up, this Quran, that nothing like this would happen. Isn't that true, Moody? You swore on this.
He did.
And then everybody looks at him, the whole family, and he's like, I had to. It was the only way you would come, right? And then she looks at the father. She's like, Father, I beg you. He swore on the Quran. He can't do this. Me and my daughter have to leave. He promised. And then it's quiet, and the father goes, and everyone points and starts yelling at her. The sisters, the brother, everyone's like, you know? And everyone's condemning her. And
your Farsi is almost as good as your Spanish, by the way.
I think it's pretty good. You see the one, remember I told you there's one, the Nazarene girl who speaks English, who likes him? She's the only one who's like, this sucks. I don't want to be.
It shouldn't be like this.
It shouldn't be like this, bro. This is crazy. This woman's like, we gonna trap this woman? Like what? Like, and I'm supposed to just be, I'm happy too. Like,
yeah.
So, right then, of course, the daughter is sitting there watching this happen and runs up to her mom crying, like, because she's scared, because everybody's yelling at her mom, like in her face, you know? And she's like, damn you all, damn you. And she runs upstairs with her daughter, okay? She goes upstairs, she gets a grip of money, cash, hides it immediately, hides it all. She's crying with the daughter. She's looking at her, and she's just crying, holding the daughter, and the daughter pushes her away, and the daughter, this got me, the daughter's calm, and she goes, I'm with you, Mom. I'll help you. True story, bro.
Oof.
Some wild shit. So she hugs her. She puts her on the bed. Right then the dad walks in. Where are the checkbooks? Moody, Checkbooks, credit cards, passport, keys to the house, keys to the car, everything. Where is it? They're in my small bag. Moody, talk to me, please, Moody. There's nothing more to say. Moody, please. Boom, he slams the door. He stands outside the door, and you see even he's like he can't believe what he's doing. This nigga can act, fool.
Yeah.
All right? He walks off. Time has passed. Okay, it's like the next day. Moody is on the phone, and he's yelling at somebody. Mm-hmm. You know, and he goes, I don't care. I don't care. What? It's final. This is where she lives now. Well, the State Department can do what hell she likes. She's not your daughter anymore. She's mine. Hangs up. Now, bro, because the whole time I hadn't thought about the parents, but it's like, oh, nigga. Oh, we going to war. You think I'm not going to come get my daughter, bro?
Yo.
I'll burn Iran to the ground. All of it. I don't give a fuck.
Also,
I don't give a fuck.
She is born in America.
Yep.
There should be some kind of like way for her to get home
That's
just off of that.
She said, I'm going to the State Department. Like,
yeah.
She's like, nigga, I will go to war. What do you think I'm just going to give up? My daughter's just in Iran? My granddaughter's in Iran? Get the fuck out of here. So later that night, Betty's just in her room. She's not coming out, obviously, on some Beauty and the Beast shit.
Well, I mean, in this situation, I would feel who wants to go be around all these people that are essentially trapping you?
True.
And like this person that you thought you knew is become a new man. Ugh. That would be the worst. Out of all of it all, it would be like, I thought I knew you.
You're not even the father I thought you were. So he comes in, just like Beauty and the Beast, he comes in and like tells her she has to eat. Uh-huh. It's pretty crazy how similar it is. And, he's like, you're going to make yourself sick. And she just lays curled up. She doesn't say anything. He goes, honey, if you wanted to stay here, we could have such a great life, And he talks about how there was this big moment when the revolution happened in our culture and in our religion here. And I wasn't here for it. I was in America. And you can't imagine what that was like for me, honey. You just don't understand. And she doesn't say anything. Because, hey, bro, you should have said this earlier before you hit me.
Yeah, I mean, once you hit me, everything changed.
I don't care about anything else you have to say. I'm done. Before you hit me, we can have all these discussions.
Also, it's not like you were,
No, he knocked her out.
Like you punched me in the fucking face.
Like a man.
You didn't even work your way up to it.
You didn't push me. Just straight up leveled me. And
no hesitation.
He says, I know things have been bad, but they will get better, I promise. He leaves. She gets up. She looks at her daughter. She's got a stern face. She ain't crying no more. She goes to pray with me. They pray, Dear Lord, hear our prayer. Help us leave Iran and get back to America. Please let nothing separate us and keep us safe in your care. Amen. So they say this prayer every day.
Are they praying, Lord? Are they praying to Allah? Are they?
Lord. Dear Lord. I would not be praying to Allah no more either. Because I'd be like, yo, this nigga's on their team, apparently.
Yeah.
I got to talk to my guy. So the next day, the phone rings. Nobody's around. She looks, nobody in. She answers that shit. Okay? And she answers, she goes, hello? And then she goes, and you hear, baby, baby. And she goes, Mom. And she starts crying. She goes, honey, shh. Don't talk. You listen to me. Go to the American interest. Bro, I love this mom. This mom is like, you think I'm playing? She goes, go to the American interest section in the Swiss embassy. Baby, American interest section, Swiss embassy. There is no U.S. embassy. She goes, Mom. She goes, shh. She gives the address. She's like, you go as soon as you can. Here is the phone number. Honey, and she repeats it. Address, phone number. Right then, Moody walks up. Give me that phone. What the hell did I tell you? He slams it. Don't touch the phone. You don't leave this house. You understand me? Do you understand me? And she's like, yeah, yes, right? The next day, we see her in her Michigan sweater, and she's sneaking down the stairs.
In her Michigan sweater.
Bro, the Michigan sweater is so funny, fool.
It's like Sigourney Weaver in the Stanford shirt.
In the Stanford shirt. It's exactly like that. She sneaks down, and the sister, she looks in the room, and the sister and the cousin are asleep in the room, and she gets to the phone, and she calls the Swiss embassy.
Yeah.
Okay? She's whispering, American interest section. Excuse me, Mom, you have to speak louder. American interest section. I can't hear you, ma'am. You have to speak louder. I'm being held hostage, please. I can't speak louder. Please. I can't hear you, ma'am. I can't hear you. And then she hears something. She has to hang up. And she's like, You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, fuck, bro. The situations is that's why the Terminator 2 music. By the way.
Also, there's so many
the
people
beginning.
in the family. There's no way that you ever have a moment alone.
Oh, nigga, the house is a open door policy.
Oh,
So Moody busts in. And he goes, "Who are you talking to?" And right then the daughter was like, because she's yelling at her, and the daughter goes, "Stop it, Daddy!" Right? He goes, "Oh, honey, it's fine, it's fine." And he goes, "You know, my family tells me everything, so don't be stupid, okay? Don't be stupid. Also, our daughter's going to school here soon, so we have to get her the right clothes." And she goes, "Moody, no!" And slams the door. All right. Cut to next day, you hear that Terminator music playing, bro. Dun-dun-dun, dun-dun-dun. And her and her daughter in the garb, full sprint, bro. They running down the street, like running like they're escaping.
yeah.
Sprinting. They find a taxi. Swiss Embassy. Okay, they hop in. Motherfucker takes her. They get to the Swiss Embassy. She goes, "My name is Betty. I'm an American. I don't have a passport. I'm sorry." And they go, "Passport's inside." And they pat her down. She goes, "Okay." She comes in, and they go, "Ma'am, we need your passports." And she goes, "My husband have them, but we are American. Me and my daughter, I assure you, we are American. We're just trying to go home." And then the guy, like American guy, looks at him, and he's like, "They can come in."
Yeah.
And he lets them in.
Okay. Well, I mean, if you hear her voice and you're an American, you're gonna be like, "Yeah, that checks out."
Also, the distress.
Yeah.
It sounds like she's running. You know what I mean? So they go see a woman, and then she's like, "Oh my God," and she's like, "Oh my God, we're so glad to see you. Thank you." She goes, "I spoke to my mother in the U.S. and my mother says the State Department is doing everything they can to help us. You know, so until then, me and my daughter will just stay here with you guys. You know, until you can get us home." And the lady looks at her and she goes, "Ma'am, you can't stay here." And she goes, "I'm American. I can't go back to my husband. Do you understand?" She goes, "Ma'am, this is Iran. Are you married to an Iranian man?" And she goes, "Yeah." And she goes, "Well, you're Iranian." She goes, No, I'm an American." She goes, "Ma'am, in Irania, if you're married to an Iranian man, you become a citizen in this country no matter what. The laws are strict here. You cannot travel. You cannot go anywhere. You cannot do anything without his permission. And also, you have no rights to your child."
Oh my God.
Welcome to Iran, my nigga.
Yo.
So you see the situation she's in.
Well, I kind of figured she had no rights as being his wife, but I didn't think about like that her Americanness couldn't save her in
Nah.
this situation.
No, because once you marry, when you marry
Yeah.
to an Iranian man.
Iran is going to will see you as an Iranian, no matter what,
no
because
matter what.
also that's the religious law.
It's a religious law, and that's law. So it's like, nah, bro, that shit don't work like
Damn.
that. And then
Yo.
and then
You screw, girl.
so the lady goes, "We can't stay here. We're being held as hostages." And the embassy lady calmly goes, "Miss Moody, there are lots of women in your circumstance." Like, bitch, you think this is the first time I've heard about a motherfucker being held hostage in Iran? That is Tuesday. So
I can imagine a lot of women. Like, also,
this happens.
How would you know if you married someone in America? How would you know that
You know what
that's
this
the law
is?
when you go there?
This is 12 years a slave. No, I'm
Yes.
serious. Remember how up north, if you were a free black man in the north,
Mm-hmm.
it did not matter if you got caught, like if somebody tricked you or put you down south, even though you were a free black man in the north, because you get lost in the sauce down south, fool.
Mm-hmm.
It don't matter, bro. You're gonna abide by the southern laws, and you're never gonna make it back to where it matters anyway.
Yeah.
Same situation.
He can't change that he's black, and she can't change she's a woman.
Nope. And you married this man legally. I'm talking about, yo, your name is on a certificate with this nigga.
Yeah.
It is what it is. So she goes, man, she goes, she tells her that, and then the lady goes, "Miss Moody, I have to ask, why did you come to Iran?" And she's like, I don't know. I was afraid, and she starts laughing, and she goes, I wanted to fucking please him. Cause it's like, damn, that's probably the truth. Like, man, that's what you want to make your partner feel good, fool. And she goes, I was frightened, but I never thought this would happen. He was an American. He was an American man. But we got here, and he has changed. And she goes, look, Miss Mahmoudi, many men have come back to Iran after the revolution, feeling guilty for turning their back on Islam. Now that Iran is an Islamic state, and that's wonderful. That's wonderful for many Iranians. This is the situation a lot of people are in now. She goes, well, if there's anything I can do, if you need calls to the U.S. or letters home, and she keeps talking. As she's talking, Betty's real, like it fades out, Like you can, like, you know,
Like there's no answer.
This is I'm here.
Yeah.
This is it. So they get about to get home, and she tells the daughter, "Hey, if Daddy asked, we went for a walk and got lost, okay?" And the daughter's like, "Okay." She goes, "What happened?" "We went for a walk and got lost." She's like, "Okay." They walk in. The sister comes up, snatches the daughter, takes her away. He walks over, and Moody beats her ass like a man, nigga. Fucks like multiple punches. Fucking her up as the sister's yelling at him and condemning her like she deserves it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Where were you? Where were you? I was at lost. He grabs her and he fucking chokes her and he pulls her up against the wall. You try anything like this again, I'll fucking kill you. You understand me? I'll fucking kill you. And he lets her go. And she's like, she says this. She says, "Oh my God." Like, you're like, what the fuck?
What is this?
Where am I?
Also, the jolt of him change, but when the consulate or whatever said the thing about the men returning after the revolution. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's what this is about. So that's what
that is what
they
this
dive
is about.
Into what this is about. Also, there must have been a lot of men like this.
Yeah, because it's like so you come from an Islamic family. That revolution is to make the whole state Islamic, because then everyone is.
But you left to go to America to do to pursue whatever.
We weren't even a part of that, and now you have to come back and overdo it. You're overcompensating.
Yes.
And also, you're bringing back your white wife, so you have to make sure.
And your family's shaming you.
Yeah.
So, cut to more time. Now time has passed. It's Mahtab's birthday. Okay. You see Moody's sister trying to hug on Mahtab, and Mahtab's like, you can tell she's now like, I don't want to be here no more.
Also, I don't want to watch my mom get beat to shit.
What the fuck is happening? And but this is crazy. So Mahtab pushes the sister off of her. And she looks up, and you see Betty come down. And she's got the traditional garb on, and she gives in. Mm-hmm. She comes down, she hugs on Moody, and like, she just puts on the face. She's just, you can tell she's done, you know? She looks out the window at night, and she's got a really sexy nightgown on. And Moody comes in the room, and she goes, "Moody, can you believe she's 5 now?" And he's like, "No, I can't, honestly." She goes, "Moody, I want to thank you for today. The doll, everything." And then Moody's like, "Well, I miss her so much, and I haven't been able to spend as much time with her lately because I'm looking for work." She goes, "Moody, I want to make it work. You were such a wonderful father today. It brought back everything, all the good memories. And I want to make you happy, Moody. I need you." And he goes, "Oh, Betty." And he hugs her. He goes, "Betty, I didn't want it to be like this. I love you. I never wanted to hurt you." She goes, "I know, honey." And she goes, "Moody, but I need you. I need you to help me." And she kisses him, right?
This feels like a seduction act.
I said she had a sexy nightgown on, bro. The whole movie, she's had a Michigan sweater on.
Yeah, she definitely. This is part of a plan.
And then she kisses him, and she goes, I need help, but we can't stay in this house anymore." And she keeps kissing him. And he goes, "We can't leave my sister's house. That'd be so rude. There's nowhere to go." And she goes, "I already asked. We can stay with Nasserine. We helped them when they visited. And I can babysit and help her. I can help her babysit. Please, it would make me so happy." And she kisses him again, and he's like, "Oh, I don't want to lose you. Whatever you want." And she smiles, like,
good.
Check. Also, you do want to go to the one cousin's house who likes you. It's
also,
like, well,
she's the only one who speaks English.
And she's the only one who doesn't, like, not, clearly it's like fucks with me. She doesn't, like, she's never been mean to me. She likes me. She speaks English. If I was going to get out, it ain't going to be at the sister's house. That's for damn sure. You know? At least maybe Nazarene won't let him beat the shit out of me. Like, you know? So they go to Nazarene's house, and Nazarene's all happy that she's there. They move in. That night, you see her getting ready for sleep, and her breasts are kind of out. And Moody walks in, and she covers up. And he's like, "My uncle's here. You need to come down. He's a highly respected, you know, Islamic preacher or whatever. You know what I mean? And you have to wear the full thing, not just the scarf." She's like, "Okay." Cut to, she's wearing the full chador. And the uncle, he looks at her. He goes, "Why do you wear full?" He can speak English. "Why do you wear chador?" And she's like, I thought I had to." And he laughs, and he's like, "Why? It's not necessary to wear this inside." Right? Like, kind of like looking like, why the fuck are you got her dressed like this? Yeah. You know? And then she's like, "Oh, I don't, okay." And then he goes, "Mahmoudi told me you've been reading Quran." And she's like, "Yes, I have." He's like, "Very good, very good. Have you been going to class?" And she's like, "No, I'm not allowed." He goes, Mahmoudi, like you must send her to class. She must learn. Like you must let her. He's
obviously like
cool,
decent.
He's a good guy. He's not
trying to trap her. He's just trying. Maybe he doesn't know that she's.
I don't think he knows. You can tell he's just like. First off, why you gotta dress like this if she's not actually gonna
go anywhere?
Or if she's gonna practice the religion for real.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like,
let her know why we dress like this.
Yes, he's more like that. Like
okay.
It ain't that he's in the back. You can tell he's just like, what's this? Like. We're also like, yeah, let her go to class. Like, let her, because she's like, he asked her, he's like, would you like that? She's like, very, very much I like that. He's like, Mahmoudi, yes, she will go learn. You know, because also he's actually like, he just cares about the religion. He's like, no, let's, more people.
It is kind of funny. I'm sure there's people, like, it's like any kind of religion or, like, idealized kind of thing. People are overdoing it just to prove to other people they're doing it. It's like woke culture.
Mm-hmm. And then you meet a guy who really lives that life, and he's like, you don't have to do all this.
Yeah, you just have to believe it, or
or just be faithful, be a good person, just be good about it. So, cut to her in class, right? She's learning about the Quran. A woman leans over and goes, "Excuse me, what page are you on?" And she's like, "Oh, page 100." And are you American? And the lady's like, "Yeah." And then she's like, lights. Betty's like, "Oh, fuck yeah."
Yeah.
Cut to after class. She's like, "Where are you from?" She's like, "I'm from Chicago, but I used to live in Michigan." And they find out they were from the same place in Michigan.
Whoa.
All right. So they're freaking out. And she goes, she's like, "I moved here because my husband's a doctor." She's like, "I moved here because my husband's a doctor." I'm like, this is crazy. And then she's like, "What do you do now?" She's like, "I work for an English language magazine." She's like, "Oh, did you become Muslim?" And then she goes, "Mm-hmm." She goes, "Really? You converted?" And the lady goes, "Well, my husband was happy I did." And she goes, "Okay." And then right then she looks over and the woman sees her husband. And she's like, "I gotta go." And
the energy change.
Betty tries to hug her, and she like
yeah, don't be weird.
And runs off.
You know,
to go hug her to her husband, right?
Oh, dude.
So that night she tells Moody like, "Oh my God, you won't believe it. I met an American woman in my class," and he's like, "Oh, that's great," you know. And she's like, "She invited us over for dinner, and her husband's a doctor. And would you want to go?" And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "Yeah, of course, that sounds fine." So that night, before they go out, they're all going to go out the family. The mom, Betty, tells the daughter, "Honey, like for us to leave this country, I need you to do something for me." Mm-hmm. She's like, "What, Mommy?" "I need you to ask questions about everything. Whenever we go anywhere, I need you to ask about what every sign means, what every bus means, what every taxi means, what everything means. I need you to learn because I need you to teach Mommy so we can get out of here, okay?" Mm-hmm. And the daughter's like, "Okay." But her daughter's with the shit, fool. Like, she's smart, bro.
Also, it's a 6-year-old kid. I want to get back to America so I can watch cartoons. What are we talking about?
This is crazy. I'm up here praying all the time.
Yeah.
So, cut to her with the dad. They're out that night, and the daughter's doing exactly what the mom said. A million questions about everything. To the point where the dad's like, "What's up with all the questions, honey?" Mm-hmm. And she just keeps asking. He's telling her everything. And you see Betty walking with them just like that's my girl. You know what I mean? Cut to, they're having dinner with the American lady. And the other doctor tells the story of how they had to come here, whoop, and how it took his wife, Ellen, a long time to become a good Islamic wife. She had to adjust. Right, honey? And she says, yes. Cut to, you see Ellen with Betty in the kitchen. Ellen takes off her thing, her shador, and she has beautiful blonde hair. She's a beautiful blonde, a gorgeous. And Betty's like you would have never guessed. You know what I'm saying? Also, why would you want to keep that, to the point of man, who would keep that kind of hair?
Yeah.
You're blessed, lady. How many people die for that kind of blonde, natural blonde, gorgeous, long?
Oh, who has natural blonde hair as an adult? It's like Swedish people and that's it.
Yeah. So she goes, "Your husband said that he let you go on," they're in the kitchen. She goes, "I heard your husband say he let you go home for vacation, but you came back. Why'd you come back?" And then she goes, "Oh, well, the kids and, the custody problem here." And she goes, "It was tough for me. I had no experience here is all, Betty." And then Betty goes, "Was he violent to you?" And then Ellen looks up and she goes, "Not in the States. Never." And she's like, and she goes, "You're not supposed to in the States. It's not Islamic. But out here, that's how marriages work. And they can be good. It's hard at times, but they can be good. Just give it time, Betty. Islam has so much beauty, and I'm glad my kids are growing up Muslims, actually." And Ellen, and then Betty looks at her and she grabs her. She goes, "Ellen, I'm so happy we're friends. Okay? She's like, yeah, me too. And she goes, you're from home, and I feel like it's a miracle I met you. Ellen, I have something I want to tell you, but I need you to keep it a secret. You cannot tell your husband.
Don't tell this woman. You can't do that.
Ellen doesn't say anything, right? And she's like, and then Betty's like, I'm sorry, never mind. Forget I spoke. I shouldn't have asked you. And she goes, no. And Ellen looks at her like, and she doesn't have the fear in her eyes. She has like strength. Mm-hmm. And she's like, no, I won't tell him. It's a promise. And then Betty looks and she goes, pulls out of her breast, just like 12 Years a Slave, literally just like 12 Years a Slave. I need you to take this letter to the embassy suites for me. Like the Swedish, you know what I mean?
The Swedish embassy, not the hotel embassy suites.
Yeah, not the hotel embassy suites, the Swedish ones. And the Ellen goes, are you crazy? Do you realize what can happen? She's like, I have to get my daughter out of here. She goes, you know, if they catch you, you can be executed for this.
Oh my God.
Betty's face gets serious. Like, I know. It's important. The embassy, please. And she hands her the letter. Ellen takes it, puts it in her dress. Mm-hmm. All right. Cut 2. More days go by. Moody comes home one day pissed. Turns out this lame ass nigga also can't get a job in Iran.
Yo, dude.
He's a bad doctor, Sam. Had nothing to do with him being brown. This nigga's not, he's just not that good. I think. I might be putting that on him, but I think.
I'm going to guess
he blames it on, it's because everyone calls him an American here. And they say I'm not fully. It's like, no, nigga, if you was that good of a doctor, bro.
Yo, also, you grew up here. You can act like you're from here. It's not like you're.
Mm-hmm. No, you might be Americanized, but you can get by. You could get by. Uh-huh. So.
Also, all his degrees from there. They say that in the. Didn't they say like they were making fun of them? Mm-hmm. So, what do they want?
I don't know. So she says, while he's going off, she goes, honey, I need to go out and get dinner. And, you know, can we go? Like, and he keeps going off. And she goes, honey, we need to go or we won't be able to make it. He goes, God, can you do anything on your own? And she's like, okay, I can go. And then she goes, I'll grab the kids and we'll go. And he looks all serious. He stops her and he goes, make a list. I want to know exactly what you're going to get so I know exactly how long it'll take you. And she goes, okay. And he goes, and also take Nassereen's baby. Leave my top. Like, you ain't going with both kids. Or you ain't going with my kid. Mm-hmm. Like, I'll give you, you have to bring back Nazarenes. Mm-hmm. So, cut 2, she goes to the market. She goes to the market and she asks this man she's talking to this man and he speaks American in a store. And she asks for a telephone.
Is he speaking English or is he speaking with an American accent?
No, he can speak English. He's clearly Iranian, but he can speak English. And he's nice. He's like clearly a nice guy, right? Like just an actual nice dude. And he lets her use his phone, and she's all nervous. And she goes, and she calls the embassies. And he kind of overhears, and she calls the embassy, whoop, and they can't help her. And she says, "No, I can't do that." And you just hear her side. She's like, "I can't." And he's kind of listening, and she's like, "No, because he always has someone watching me." And she goes, "What if?" She goes, "What if I get divorced?" She goes, "Really? I can go?" And then she's like, "No, I can't do that. I can't do that. I won't leave her."
Not without
my daughter.
Here it comes.
And she goes, okay.
Yes, I love it when they say the actual name of the title.
No, she didn't. But that was what she implied.
Damn. They could have so easily done it there.
That was the moment. That was the only moment they had.
I was so excited.
So, but you see the problem of the movie.
Yeah, that's a big problem. I'm not leaving without my daughter either.
But I can't stay here. It's a tough situation.
Well, also, she's in the worst situation.
She has no rights. So she goes, okay, I'll get to the embassy as soon as I can. She hangs up. The guy looks at her, and she's all nervous because she doesn't know.
If she's going to, like, beat her.
Well, he don't know what she's going to. And she goes, thank you. She goes, you're a very kind man. And he goes, you know, I like America. She goes, okay. He goes, I had a son. He went to the University of Texas. He was so proud, and I was so proud of him. I know, right?
That's right here.
It's right here. Literally, we're on campus. He goes, he's so proud, and I was so proud of him. And he looks over, and there's a picture of him with flowers on it. And he's like, he's a martyr for our war. But anytime you want to use my telephone, you come here. And they shake. He holds out his hand.
Wait, are they implying that he got shot in the shooting here? The son?
I don't know.
Timeline might make sense.
Timeline might make sense. But it clearly gave him this, whatever happened gave him a soft spot for Americans.
Okay, maybe he didn't get shot
Yeah.
by an ex-Marine.
Yeah, I think whatever happened, it was more like, you know.
Yo.
No, he died in the war. He said he died in the war. The war here.
The war here. Against the Islamic State.
Had to.
Well, I mean, there were plenty of people who didn't want that.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, that's what he must have meant. Mm-hmm. And that's why you were like, oh, man. And he's listened to her conversation. He feels bad. Mm-hmm. So, the next day they take Matab to school. She's in the full garb. She's crying. She's like screaming. She does not want to go. And the mom, feel bad. And like, they give her to the teachers. And then, of course, he snatches the mom for embarrassing him because she's trying to like coddle her daughter a little bit. Mm-hmm. The next day they're at the market with the family. And she's with like the sister and Nazarene and the other sisters and shit. And she sees the man who helped her. And she gets fucking terrified. Because what if he comes up and says like, hi, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like, hey, or something like that. Mm-hmm. So she's like, and then they make eye contact. And this nigga, he just goes, he plays it cool.
Yo, he lives here. He knows what's up.
He knows what's up. So, she walks by him, and then she tells the sisters like, "Oh, I forgot to go grab something. I'll be right back." And she runs into his store, and then he tells her like, "Hey, I have a woman here. She's here to help you." And they go into the back of her store, and she has this other woman there, right? And this, she's Iranian, and she says how they can, she's like, "Hey, I want to help you, but I must warn you, they can execute you for trying to escape with his daughter, because that's his daughter." She's like, "Hey, I'm being blunt. This ain't your daughter here.
According
this is his
to
daughter.
the law of the state, it is his daughter.
So
and you're his wife.
So if you try to leave and they catch you, they gonna cut your motherfucking head off, girl.
Yeah.
This ain't a game." And she's like, "I'm fine. Like, whatever."
Yeah.
Because I feel it. I'm like, "Oh, I'd rather die. I'm not living like this for the rest of my life. Mm-hmm. Kill me." And then she goes, "I want to help you." She goes, "I'll be here every Wednesday and Thursday if you need me. Okay? Here's my number. Memorize it. Do not keep it." Obviously, I can't have people knowing that I'm helping you.
Yeah.
So they get back home. When she gets back home, Matab is there. She's like, "What happened?" She was like, "Matab was crying all day at school, so the teachers called and I had to come pick her up." And then she said, "They asked her tomorrow if you can go with her and if you could stay with her the whole day." And she's like, of course I can." She's like, "Oh, Matab's just crying." And then he looks at his wife and he goes, "There are devout women there. You will be watched." And she's like, "Okay." She's like, "I understand. I want our daughter to be happy, Moody. A happy child. Isn't that what you want? Don't you want our daughter to be happy?" And he goes, "Islam is the only thing that I can give my child, and it's the best thing for her." He storms off.
It's interesting to think about adults coming back to a religion like that, because you don't hear about like people leaving Christianity or Catholicism and then like returning to their families and being like, "You know what, I need to be more Catholic."
And I'm gonna shove it down everyone's butthole.
Yeah. It's just interesting. I like to have lived so long the other way and then come back.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
But I guess also that your family is so into it, and now the whole state is into it, and so there is this feeling of like, it's part of their identity, and which is part of who you are. Oof. Complicated.
Mom next day at school, and while they're there, a huge bomb goes off and blows like out the windows. You hear planes overhead, war, you know what I mean? All the screaming children, they all have to run down to the basement of the school. Mm-hmm. She's just holding her daughter all tight. They wait it out. Cut to the end of the afternoon. Moody comes and picks them up, right?
Yeah.
And then she's mad. She's like, "I thought you said it was going to be safe, Moody. You said it was going to be safe." And then he goes off. "This is America's fault. America's the one who backed Iraq. America's the one giving us the bombs. This is America to blame and no one else. And you know that. This is your fault." Like, you know what I'm saying? Going off. He's a fucking loser.
Also, it's like, even if it is America's fault, Americans don't know that yet. That's not like...
Okay. Also, I didn't say whose fault is this on a grand scale. I'm saying whose fault is this right in this moment in time that my daughter was in danger?
Yeah, and that I'm here.
Your fault. Because that's what he's like, "Hey, nigga, I didn't say whose fault." Because I guess at the end of it's America's. And then it's really just, the idea of war's fault and who we are. Like, we can blame a lot of things. Yeah, it's money's fault.
Oil.
But if we want to talk about whose fault it is at this moment, I'm going to go with you, Moody. So the next day, she's at her Muslim class, her Quran class. Her friend comes up, Ellen. Mm-hmm. Her friend's face beat to shit.
Oh.
Look like she just had a UFC fight. Look like Nate Diaz.
Yo,
And-
Nate Diaz's face will never recover.
The husband walks up, right? And Betty's all scared. And she goes, "You are a wife. You cannot behave this way. You cannot behave this way. You understand me?" And she looks and Ellen's like, "I'm sorry."
He found the letter.
She goes, "I had to tell him." She weak.
Why'd you tell him? You knew he was going to hit you.
Beat the shit out of her, fool.
It's like Stockholm Syndrome.
Yep. And he hands the letter back to her. "Be a better wife." And he storms off, right?
Surprised he didn't hit her.
I'm very surprised.
Also, like, it's not like anyone would hold it against him.
The husband would love it.
Yeah, I mean, also, it's just people would just assume that she'd done something against the Islamic law.
He has the letter. She did.
Yeah.
She literally did do something against the law. So she's hanging with the women at school the next story, right? Mm-hmm. And the women, the teachers, feel bad for her. They feel really bad for her. And they're talking, and they tell her, "Iran is a bad place. This isn't a good place for you. Your husband." And then one of the women go, "We're going to help you." And she's like, "What?" She's like, "We help you." She's like, "Can I use the telephone?" And they go, "No, Jesus. Go get us caught, bitch." You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, girl.
We can't just do the opposite. You say we're gonna help you. We didn't say we're just gonna fly you on a plane out of here. Like, we're gonna slowly get this process moving, you know? And then they tell her what we can do. You come here after mornings, 11, bring Matab. Understand? And she goes, "Yes." Okay. She leaves. She's like, Thank you. She goes to the store. Remember the guy that helps her?
Yeah.
And the guy, there's this rich guy there, this really well-to-do brown man who speaks good English. He's Iranian, but he speaks like clear English.
Like he probably like lived in Britain or something.
He speaks like how Moody can speak.
Yeah.
Both.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So he gives her a map and a route, and there's one way out of here through the Gulf, and there's one way out of here through Turkey. And she goes, "Which is the best?" And he goes, "The Gulf." Turkey's way more dangerous because of what you got to go through to get to Turkey. Turkey's the safe spot, but to get up through there is more dangerous.
Just get, because you can take the water versus the land.
That's what he's saying.
Okay, that makes sense.
I mean? So, and then she goes, "Oh my God, how much will this cost? Please, like I'm so thankful, thank you." And he's like, "When back in America, reimburse me if you can. American dollars though, not Iranian money. And keep in touch with my sister." His sister was the one that was helping. Mm-hmm. That's his sister. So they clearly done this a bunch. They help women get back, you know? Yeah. So she gets to the school. She shows up to the at 11. She shows up with Matab to the school, right? And they walk in the classroom. Moody is there.
No.
And the women are like they tricked her.
No.
And she looks at her daughter. She goes, "Run, Matab, run!" And Matab and her try to take off down the hallway. The teachers run after her. Moody runs after her. Moody grabs her and the daughter and throws them both down, right?
Oh.
And he goes, "Where were you? Where have you been?" He starts hitting the shit out of her. Matab's like, "Stop, Daddy, stop." This nigga hits his daughter. Hey, I know we were already done with this guy, but now I'm like done with this guy, if that makes sense. Not that of course hitting women's bad. I know that. Yeah, you shouldn't do it. Blah, 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 blah. This little beautiful girl is 6.
He hits her in the face.
Slaps the shit out of her like she a grown man.
Yo, why can't people just bend her over your leg and spank her ass like a normal person?
No, don't hit your wife. She's hitting you for a reason.
She's hitting you for a reason, obviously. But it's like, why? What is with all this, like, let's really, like, hit them? It's bad enough that you're hitting them, but do you have to, like, bash their face in?
Yeah, bro. And then one of the teachers comes up and grabs the daughter, obviously, and he slams the mom on the ground. And he's just wailing on her, bro, just hitting her like a dude.
Oh my God!
In her back. She's just screaming.
Oh my God!
Then he takes her by her hair and snatches her outside. "I'm gonna fucking kill you. You're fucking dead. You hear me?" He throws her in a taxi. They drive off. They get to the house. As he goes to pay the guy, she gets out the taxi and just runs.
Yeah.
Just takes off.
Where's the daughter?
Huh?
Is the daughter with her?
No, he left the daughter with the teachers.
Yeah, okay.
Betty! He chases after her, right? She can't catch her. She runs. She takes off. She gets to a telephone. She calls the number she memorized. "Nicole, he's going to kill me. He's going to kill me." And she's like, you hear, "Where are you? Where are you?" Right? So right then, a woman comes with Betty. Like the embassy woman comes with Betty to the teacher spot. All right? She asks for her baby. Teachers say, "No, not your baby. It's your husband's baby." She goes, "I want my baby." They go, "Madam, this isn't your baby. It's your husband's baby." She goes to fight and grab for her child. The teachers won't let her. The embassy lady is like, "Stop! Like, hey, this isn't how we're gonna get her." All right? They argue more. She goes, "I want my baby." The teachers say no. They say, "You wait for your husband. It's your husband's baby." the embassy lady's like just hugging her, like, because the embassy lady's like, I'm here to make sure this nigga doesn't kill you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because he isn't allowed to kill you for no reason. He's not allowed to execute. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So right then the husband comes in. He looks at Betty, and Mahtab and Betty have to go home with him. So they go home. So at home, you see Betty tell the daughter, like, hey, honey, never tell your father anything about the embassy or anything about what we've been doing, or I can't get you home. And then the daughter's like, mommy. She's like, I promise I won't leave you, okay? Like, okay. She comes downstairs and asks Moody, hey, where's Nazarene and her husband? Because the place that they've been staying is kind of like empty. Mm-hmm. And he goes, shut up, don't ask questions. And she's like, what? And then it's quiet, and then he says they moved in with someone else. And he snatches the phone off the wall. He grabs Mahtab. Moody! He runs out the door, and he slams the door, and he locks her inside. So she's locked in this room. Okay? Mm-hmm. And she's like, Moody, no, please! Moody! She runs to the balcony. Moody, don't do this! And he leaves her there, fool. Mm-hmm. All right? He takes his daughter on a walk, and he questions everything about that his mommy's been doing. And the daughter's a G, fool. Don't give up shit. We've been going on walks.
You know what? If your dad's been hitting you like that, you know snitches get stitches. Like, what do you...
Also, at this point, the daughter's like, yeah, I'm not with you. Yeah. I'm not on your time. You hit me.
And also, I don't recognize you anymore.
This is weird. Like, I might be 6, but this is weird.
I know this is not how you used to be.
Yeah.
You used to be fishing and playing.
And now it's like, will you yell at mom all the time? And also, everyone yells at mom all the time. Because that would be it, too. It wouldn't just be you. It's like, yo, everyone hates mom.
Yeah.
It's weird. You would feel weird about that shit. So, he questions everything, and he's like, why were you late to school the other day? And she's like, we got lost. And he snatches her by, like, her face. He's like, don't you lie to me. And she's like, I'm not. And then she's like, don't you ever lie to me. Where were you and your mom? And the sister, the evil sister, comes and, like, slaps him and grabs the daughter and, like, like, don't you ever do that to her. The sister the sister didn't see him hit her.
Yeah.
So the sister was like, yo, you can do that to your wife. But, like, Mahtab's one of us.
Yeah.
Because that is what it is.
That is what it is. It's weird that this is also interesting. You take your American wife with you back, and it's like she's a blemish on your whole thing. Why do you want to keep her?
Oof.
Why do you even want to continue
Power.
to have this white? Yeah.
Because it's like, what is it really about? It's about that you do what the fuck I say, or I hit you, fool. Like, that feels good.
Also, there must be some kind of power in this. Like, you feel like it's Americans' fault that things are the way they are.
Yeah.
So you feel like now you're like taking out some of that on, like, hey, it's like I control part of America. I don't know.
So Betty wakes the next day, and she's like, Moody. He's at the place, and he leaves like some food for her, and then he locks her in. She's like, Moody. He leaves. That night, you hear more bombs dropping, and it blows out her windows of where she's at, right? Sirens and planes and shit, and she's just like screaming for her daughter. Mahtab, She sits, and she's fucked up in her place, and then you hear the door open, and you hear, Betty. And you see Moody walking with a flashlight, and he's holding Mahtab, and he's like, Betty, and he sees her on the ground, he picks her up, and they all hug, and she's like, thank you, Moody, and she's just hugging the daughter, and he hugs like them, right? Fades to black. 6 months later.
How long do you think she's been here? Like, how much is this other stuff happening?
At this point, I'd say 9, maybe 9-10 months.
Oh,
going on a year. Everyone is singing. Oh, it has been a year. It's Mahtab's birthday again.
Oh,
so they were there 6 months. It's been
God.
another 6 months. That's right. I knew that. Everyone's singing happy birthday to Mahtab. She's like 7 now.
Gabby just sat up when you said it's been a year.
It's been a year.
Oh
yeah,
shit.
Gabby's been listening to this whole thing like, yo, it's been a year.
She's having a panic attack over there.
Because in your head, it's like, oh, maybe it's been a couple weeks, and now it's been 6 months. But it's like, oh, no, it's been 6 months, and now another 6 months. They cut the cake for Mahtab. Betty prays over the cake in fluent Farsi.
Wow, good for her.
She's been there a year now.
Not
fluent.
But yeah, but a year and you can like pray over the cake.
Yeah, it wasn't fluent, but it was enough where everybody was like proud of her too. She's also been studying the Quran every day.
Yeah,
like,
that's true.
And you know what else? You have nothing else to do with your time. So you're throwing your energy into this.
Yeah. And also they beat you if you don't follow the rules.
That's
so you're
also
probably
true.
trying to appease everyone.
While you figure out a way out. Also, the more you know, your better chance of you getting out of here. That's true. Like, well, the better I can speak the language, the more I know about what they believe,
Yeah, knowledge is power, man.
Mm-hmm. So the next day she takes Matab to school, and she's like, Matab, you're going to be all right, okay? She's like, yeah, Mommy, but when will you be back? As soon as I can. I need you to be brave, okay? She kisses her. Betty leaves, and there's a woman waiting in a car. She takes off running, right, for the car. They go to the dude that's helping them. They go to, like, his basement. The fancy dude is there who gave her the map. Mm-hmm. And then, Betty's like, I can't thank you enough. I can't thank you enough. He's like, Betty, there's no need. Just make the journey safely. She cries, right? And he tells her he's sorry that she had to see his country this way. I did respect this guy because he explains, because then he tells her, the beauty of Iran. Or even still, he's like, it's still, there's beauty here. It's not just, it's like any place.
Well, yeah, any place.
And he's clearly like a very intelligent guy.
Imagine if one side of, we live in a very split country, but imagine if one of the sides just had ultimate power all of a sudden.
Facts.
It would really change how you looked at your country. And if you were on that side, fine. But if you weren't, it's like, whoa.
So you know how I said it was 6 months?
Yeah.
So he tells her, I'm going to get you home. By this Christmas, you'll be in America. You'll be in your home.
It's a long time.
Fade out. Cut to. They're putting the Christmas tree up, still in Iran. So
why
now it's been 2 years now.
Wait, why did they have a Christmas tree in Iran?
For Matab. Because everybody, they're doing it to make Matab happy. They do love Matab, the family. It's not like they don't love Matab.
Yeah, but it's weird that you're allowing her to have these very frivolous Christian American things.
I mean, it was clearly like an Iranian Christmas.
Yeah.
But that's what time of year it is.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So they're celebrating, and you cut to she sneaks off like another day, and she goes and sees that rich dude again, and he's apologizing profusely, saying it was too dangerous. I couldn't get you out of here by then. I'm sorry. Mm-hmm. All right? He goes, but I found I have a new travel day. Wednesday, June 29th. She goes, perfect. Moody works on Wednesdays. She said, we're going to pick you and your daughter up from the bus stop, and we're going to hold you until it's time to get you to the proper airport. Mm-hmm. Okay? And then you see cut to at work. Betty works for, because it's like been a whole year and 6 months now.
Yeah.
Betty works, you remember how Homeboy couldn't get a job?
Yeah.
He opens his own practice. Like his own small practice.
Okay.
She works for him. She's like his secretary. Okay? So she's taking calls. Her father calls. He's not doing well. They got to operate.
Oh.
She tells Moody and she doesn't know what to do. Moody is like, oh, you go back to America. See your father. And she's like she almost cried. She can't believe it. And he's like, because you can tell now he feels like, oh, I own her. Like,
yeah.
Even if I let her go home. It's like Reek. It's like Reek in Game of Thrones. It's like, I can let you get away.
Or even the
come
other
back.
woman, Ellen, said she went back to America and came back.
Because it's the point of I own your brain. Mm-hmm. It's almost more of a power trip to let you go home. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and he goes, tell him you're going to come see him. Tell her now. And she's like, oh, I'm coming home, Mom. Right? At dinner that night, Moody looks at her and goes, I'm so sorry about your father. He's a great man. She's like, thank you. She goes, Moody, will you come with us? He goes, no, I would lose the practice. We got too much going on right now. She goes, okay. And then she's quiet and she goes, can Matab come? And he goes, no, of course not. Matab at school. You'll go alone. She goes, I can't go without Matab. He goes, why not? You'll see your father. Matab doesn't need to be there. It's quiet. And then she goes, I won't go without her. And this nigga slams the table. Boom! Betty, you'll leave as soon as possible. Okay? He goes, Betty, I can't let you go at Matab because you'll leave as soon as possible. I won't hear from you again. You and your father will liquidate my assets, and it's my fucking money. I want it. You'll never get it. And he storms off. Right?
Wait, it's about money now?
Always. In America, she has the power in divorce.
Yeah, but dude, at this point, I don't even want your money. I just want out. What are you talking about? Liquidate your assets.
Yo, Sam, I like how you say you don't want his money. Yo, if you got back to America with our daughter.
He don't have any money. He hasn't worked for 2 years.
No, the asset. I told you they own that beautiful home.
Oh.
Home is beautiful.
Oh. Okay.
And in divorce, she would get that in America.
Yeah, she would. Okay.
So she goes, it's like a day go by, she tells the rich guy who's been helping her with the planning, she's got to go home and see her father now. And he goes, you can't go home and see your father. And then and he's like, she's like, I can't. What if something happens to him? I can't risk losing him. And then he says, your father wouldn't want you to come if it meant losing your daughter. I can guarantee you that. And she's like, what do you mean? He goes, you cannot leave Matab here with Moody's family. They are fanatics. You know, people like that. He said those kind of fanatics believe girls at the age of 9 are ready for marriage. If you leave and come back, you will never see Matab again, or maybe the whole family. It's all about Matab.
Oh my God.
So he goes, you want to be free with Matab? You leave on the 29th like we have planned. Okay? And she's like, what if he makes me go before the flight's before? What if he makes me go? He says, delay him. All right? Just do anything you can to delay him. Okay? She gets home. Where were you? I was at the market. He goes off, right? And you know, he's like, you're going to do what I say. You're going to be leaving for your father. I don't want to hear any more of this shit. I don't want to hear any more. But like, that's what you're doing. You're doing what I say. Mm-hmm. She's like, okay. She goes, but honey, what about the passport validation? You know, if my flight's tomorrow, we have to get it done, you know, 3 days before, remember? And then he goes, already took care of it this time. Like he did know about that he was supposed to do. Does that make sense?
Of course he did.
He's a piece of shit.
Of course he did.
So Moody says, I got to go to the hospital. Like, you know, got to get some work done with your mood. And then Betty, and then he goes, you need to go to the market for dinner, right? And she goes, yeah, I'll go. It'll take me like 20 minutes. She goes, also, actually, can I have a little longer? I want to get a gift for my father. He's like, that's fine, of course, right? He leaves. And then she looks over at the sisters who are watching TV. They're distracted. Mm-hmm. And she goes, hey, do you mind if I bring Matab with me so she can get a gift for my sick father too? It'll be 20 minutes. And the sisters are like, yeah. Because they're distracted. And she looks up, like.
What are they watching?
Prayer. They're watching something like they're watching like you know the nigga that's like, and God wants you to give money. Huh? Like,
that a televangelist.
A televislamist.
I think it still works because evangelist. Is that specific?
Yeah, I guess just televangelist.
Yeah.
So they let her go. Cut to Betty and Matab like walk out the house all calm. You know, the moment the door closes, they sprint. They're gone. They're sprinting. Because they know they got a limited time. Yeah. They get to the phone. She starts making calls. No one answers. She's like, fuck. She gets to another. She realizes that phone don't work. She has to sprint to another phone. She's like, no, I have her with me. She goes, no, we can't wait. We have to leave now. No, this is the only chance. We have to leave right now. I can't go back. It'll be over. Mm-hmm. Like, he's going to make me get on that flight tomorrow. Yeah. Right? Cut to, they get to the rich guy's safe house. The lady, you know, when they get there, her daughter, Matab, cries. She's like, what's wrong? And she goes, I forgot my bunny. And she's just crying. We got to go back. I forgot. She goes, stop. And the mom's like, stop. Because they're also almost like, this is finish line time.
Yeah, it's like, hey.
Look at me.
I know this is important to you, baby, but your bunny is going to have to go.
The mom looks, she goes, look at me. Stop crying. Stop. And the daughter gets a little nervous. And she goes, if we go back for the bunny, we have to stay with daddy. Do you want that? And the daughter's like, no. I love that the daughter is smart enough to be like, "Oh, I get this." Mm-hmm. And she goes, but then the daughter, she goes, "Okay, good." And they get up to go leave, and she goes, "But mommy," and the mom comes back down, and she goes, "When will I see daddy again?" And the mom has to go, I don't know, honey. That's what she says. She goes, I don't know, honey, but I love you, and I need you right now to be my big brave girl.
I can't believe this is happening or happened to people.
Oh, this definitely seems like a true story.
It seems like something.
This is it's way too specific to not be true. Like little things also, like this part, like little.
And then when the consulate says this is common, it's like, yo.
Well, how many American women are just in Iran and they're pretty much like slave minded? They forgot that they had another life, and that they were like brought there. Well, it's
also probably not just Americans. You have British women, like anywhere you immigrated to, and then
anywhere you fell in love with a guy who was a piece of shit. He was a liar. He wasn't the real. You fell in love with a con artist. Cut to her. Right, she calls Moody on the phone. Mm-hmm. Moody's going off. Where the fuck are you? Obviously. And then she's like, I'm not getting on that plane. What? She goes, what? He goes, what are you planning? I'm going to call the police on you right now. You'll be executed. And then she goes, well, if you call the police on me, I'm calling the police on you. I work for you, you idiot. I know your practice isn't legal. You have no permits. Because he's a bad, that's what made me think it's like, oh, you are a bad doctor.
You're a bad doctor.
You can't get permits. You suck.
Yeah.
So he goes, don't, we don't have to get police involved. Stop. Like he stops her. Right?
You don't have the power anymore, man. You're just a weak little man like everyone else.
Just like everyone else. You're my wife. That's my child. Get your ass back here now. And he starts screaming, right? And the brother calms him and grabs the phone. And he's like, Betty, you know what I mean? Like, let's figure this out. Mm-hmm. All right, what do we got to do? And then she goes, tell Moody I have a lawyer, and I'm going to meet with him tomorrow between 6 and 8. And you hear the brother tell Moody that, right? And then you see the rich guy go, let's go now. We have to leave right now. And she goes, that's my demand. So she hangs up. They take off running. Mm-hmm. All right? He goes, we have to go or they'll find us here. So he tells them the route that they're going to take, and it's going to be the dangerous one. They don't have time to do the Gulf thing. Mm-hmm. They got to go through the Turkey way. He goes, you must not let anyone, look at me, anyone know you or your daughter are American. Mm-hmm. You cannot, okay? Betty, very soon I hope you will stroll through your own garden one day at your own home in America. They hug. She gets in the car. They take off. All right? The guy takes them to another car. They slip into another car with different people. Who takes them to another car. They get into another car with different people. That take them to a checkpoint. The officer comes up, guns in all their faces, looks at them all, checks the driver's pass, lets them go. They get through the first checkpoint. All right? Cut to the next day. They go through a whole, this is like, next day they're driving through the desert. They switch to another car, different people. Hop in, take off. They take them to this old couple's place in the middle of nowhere. They let them change clothes there. Mm-hmm. All right? The next morning, they're waking up abruptly, right, by this young guy, and he takes, he's like, give me your bag. Like, give me your bag. And he gives it to her. He doesn't speak English, but he's like this. And she gives the bag. He takes out her passports, her daughter's passports, all their jewelry and all their money. And he puts it in his pockets. Uh-huh. And she's like, she starts crying. She's like, no.
Because they're going to search them. They're
her,
looking for them. They're not looking for him. He's a man.
And he's like, he tells her, but she doesn't know what's going on. He's telling her, like, stop, stop crying, you know? Cut to their driving. They hear gunshots. Soldiers come up and, like, check them. They let them go again. Mm-hmm. It's another checkpoint, right? They make it to the spot in the middle of nowhere. They're all laying at night. There's this young guy and this old man. That's who's taking them at this point, right? The young guy who took all their stuff. Mm-hmm. The old man is watching her and the daughter kind of shiver. They're cold. They're sleeping. He walks over and he lays his coat on her. Mm-hmm. And it's a sweet moment, right? And then he lays down beside her and he gets himself under the coat. And then the daughter wakes up, like saying, like, if you're sleeping like this, raise your head up. Like, imagine me, like, if you're sleeping like that, raise your head up. Like you're waking up. Like, look at me like you're waking up. No, slowly. Like, how you wake up. Like, raise it. No. Puts her head back down. All right?
Oh, that's what he did. I thought you were having me do it again.
No, he was like,
No.
Like that. Like, go back to sleep.
Yeah.
And then she gets up again. He does it again. And this nigga starts taking off his pants and like, and she's like, mommy. And he wakes up and she's like, what are you? Hey, no. And this nigga about to rape her fool. And then the young guy gets up and grabs the old dude and throws him. Mm-hmm. And starts pushing. And then they start arguing in Farsi. And the old man storms off and you hear, and a car drive off. They all panic. He's like, fuck. He grabs the keys. He's like, come on. They leave. Mm-hmm. Cut to, we see the old man who tried to rape her, so now snitching to some soldiers at the next checkpoint.
Yo, dude.
Right?
Just because you can't get some?
Just cause.
Why? That's the only reason you took this job also?
Also, I believe that happened.
Yeah, of course it did.
I believe that shit happened to her, bro.
I was expecting that to happen sooner.
Mm-hmm. The energy that the young guy has when he's robbing her, you think he's going to do it.
Yeah.
It's funny how they do that. So remember I told you the energy of the young guy, like his energy is negative. It feels like he's about to hurt her.
Yeah, they set him up so that you don't trust him.
And then
it's
his
the
energy,
guy.
when he lays the coat down, you see what I'm saying?
Classic choice.
Just a little switch, yeah. So we see them cut to they're in the car and they're dark near the mountain. They all get out. And he grabs the daughter and he picks her up and she's like, no. And he's like, shh. And they go past the checkpoint and they see the old man talking to police and they have to sprint and they get to these tunnels and they make it through.
Wow.
They make it through. They keep walking. They get hit by a sandstorm. They make it through that. They have to get on horse.
Wow. Who is this young guy that's doing all this too? Bro, what a nice guy.
Bro. I'm sure that he's getting paid.
Yeah, but where's the money coming from?
The rich guy.
Oh, yeah.
Remember he said reimburse me.
Yes.
If you can. He was if you can in American dollars. Also, he's like, it's not going to cost as much. Like,
yeah, it'll go farther.
So.
Okay.
Now you see them cut to they're walking through the mountains. They meet up with another guy in another car. Mm-hmm. The young dude who took them all the way, he hugs the car person. Like him and the dude in the car are clearly boys.
Mm-hmm.
And then they say something and Fartsy and smiles, and he looks at Betty and he's like that, and he tosses her a bag, right? And then she gets in the car, he leaves. She gets in the car, she checks the purse, and obviously
The jewelry in it.
everything's in there.
Yeah.
And she just, you know what I mean? But you was exactly like, the young dude knew that, like, hey,
if we get stopped, they're gonna check you.
they're
not
gonna check
me.
you, not me. So, and if they do check me, it's like, well, we're going down anyway.
Yeah.
You know, so it is what it is. So she, they take off driving. They make it to Turkey.
Whew.
They make it to Turkey. You see her and the daughter walking. They get to the American embassy in Turkey. You see a huge American flag. She smiles. We're home, baby. They hug. Betty and Mahtab were reunited with their family in America February 9th, 1986.
Whoa.
Many women and children are held against their will in foreign countries. Betty is now a successful writer and lecturer and dedicated her life to helping those who find themselves in similar circumstances. Not without my daughter.
Yo. Yeah, it made me cry at the end when they made it. I don't know why.
You knew they were going to make it.
I knew they were going to make it, but the rest of the time...
Also, you knew they were going to make it because there's a book.
Of course, yeah, she lived through it. But still...
Now, if I told you the daughter wrote the book, then it would have been like, oh.
No. Oh.
So how do you feel about Johnathon Sanders?
I like Johnathon Sanders. I've always liked Johnathon, because I don't know why. I think I said this last time he got us an episode.
Let me see.
Johnathon Sanders, do I know like a sibling or something of yours? I know that name from somewhere. Did we go to like high school together?
Wait, what? Because of...
Every time I hear that name, I'm like, don't I know Johnathon Sanders? Like personally? Yeah, what did he ask for last time? It was great. It was great. It was interesting. It was thought provoking.
Don't look over here.
I'm not looking at the future episodes.
Undercover Brother. He went silly last time.
He went silly last time.
So that's why he went like this.
Interesting. Also, how old are you, Johnathon Sanders?
Dude, how fucking old are you, bro? How did you find this movie? Who told you about this movie? Did you read the book? Are you Iranian, bro? Why do you care? What is happening? Are you a Sally Fields fan? I'm confused.
Is it Fields or Field?
Fields.
Oh, interesting. I've
Plural.
been saying it wrong for so long.
This is
who doesn't like the Flying
bad
Nun?
movie. It's a very bad movie, but it's very interesting.
Oh, it was really interesting.
It's extremely interesting. But Sam, this is a terrible movie. It's extremely racist. I mean, the first 30 minutes, it's like, what the fuck is this?
Do you think the book has all those inclinations the same way?
No, I think they Americanized the movie to make you feel like America.
Yeah.
We're the heroes in this movie.
Yeah, we are.
Not that she didn't go through it. Not that this woman deserved this.
I'm sure the book is more personal versus like America versus them.
Versus Iran.
Yeah. Oof. It was interesting.
It's very interesting. It's good. It's a movie that they made. That's the best way to describe it. It's a movie that they made.
Did you see the movie Persepolis?
No.
Okay.
Anyway, Sam, I hope you liked it.
Okay.
Hope you enjoyed it?
I did. I enjoyed it. I had fun. I cried at the end. I had all the emotions.
All the emotions.
I felt for her, and I didn't think I was going to at the beginning. So
I felt for Mahtab mostly.
I felt for her a lot. Damn.
She's so pretty. She's just adorable, you know?
Aww.
Yeah, this is a fucking fucked up movie. Johnathon Sanders, you're a fucking psycho, but I like you. Keep buying these. Keep spending the extra money so your movie cuts the line. I love that as well. Piss everybody off. I wish somebody would just do it every week and just ruin it for everybody. Like
that's not fair to everyone else.
I would only let them do it probably 10 times before I'd be like, all right, bro.
Yeah.
But I'd let them do it 10 times. I'm a capitalist.
Well, yeah, I understand that.
Money talks.
Yeah,
Just
but
like
all
the
these
movie,
other
which we'll
people
do
are
at some
waiting
point.
on theirs, which they've also contributed to.
He paid money. I didn't say I wouldn't because it's like, yo, I will get to it. Unless I die. That's the only reason I'm not going to get to it.
That's true.
The podcast will never stop. So it's like, I'm going to get to it. But
We
yeah,
never
money
stop.
speaks first. Also, if somebody could do that, I would just get to the point where I would just do that person's and then one that somebody had paid for a while. And then until I caught up.
Until you caught up.
And then I'd go back to doing my own. And then whoever this crazy person is who buys one once a week.
Yeah.
Who's giving me, $400 a month pretty much. So he can have his own
Well, no,
movies.
he's paying extra.
Okay, damn, he's giving me like
$1,000 at least.
800 to $1,000 a month. Yo, Bean Mafia, I love you guys. You're the shit. I will see you in a couple days. I hope you enjoyed this. We have a special surprise for you on the Monday episode. So tune in then. Have a good
Special.
one, Bean. Bean.
Bean.